are now with Demi.
So I saw something this week, right? It was a bill, right? Somebody went out to eat. I think it was 6 people, and the bill was like $1,600.
Interesting.
And it
6
was
people?
yeah.
Interesting.
So basically, the bill had like names and stuff written on the side of who ordered what because they were like splitting the bill.
Perfect.
And then see, I already know your stance on it. So someone had quoted the tweet, and they were like, there's like, oh, this is mad extra. If you're going out and you can't afford to split the bill, just don't go out with people. Like, we not children and shit like that. And I was like, hold on. So I like really looked at the bill, and like there was a person on the bill where like they ordered like a $64 steak. They ordered like mad sides and shit that came for like $40 and shit, and they had like a few drinks. The drinks were like $60, and there was a person that their initials are only next to like some like garlic shrimp, which was like $25, and like a few drinks or whatever. So their bill may be like $60-$70. You're telling me because you wilded out, I'm supposed to pay the difference on your meal? Every single, like, if you're going out and we're going out to like a place where, you know, like the menu's pretty calm, like everyone's meal is gonna be the same. Everybody had like one drink.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm fine with that. But when it's something like that, that's not max.
And that's why I found the loophole.
What is it?
What's the loophole?
So now that I know people are really like that size that way, I only go out if I intend to split the bill.
Mm-hmm.
That means I'm going into it, committing to going, okay, I already know how y'all about to go. I'm about to order 3 drinks. I'm getting a side. I'm getting, because I know that's what everyone else is about to do. But if I don't want to do that, then I just don't go. Because I used to get really upset. I would go somewhere and I would look at the menu right to left. I would look at the price. Then I would look at if it's vegan. Then I would order it. Then I would go out with other people and they would order all these things. And then we splitting the bill. I'm like, hold on, I spent $10.
Yeah.
I spent $10.
And you don't want to be that person, but at the same time, it's like, nah, man, I feel like y'all trying me, bro. I feel like y'all try. Like, perfect example. We went out last month, whenever. It was us 4. Well, us 3 and Lay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lay. She not here this week. Get your study in, girl. But we all went out. We all shared the same appetizers. We all had one drink around all the same price range. And we all had, you know, a same bowl of ramen around the same price range. Somebody might have added on, you know, $1 or $2 to get some stuff on it. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. But we all had 2 rounds of shots.
Yes.
That's a perfect time to. I'm perfectly fine with splitting the bill.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like, all right, Jace ordered prime rib and this and that, and it's like his shit should have been like he's saving. If you're saving money by splitting the bill, that's the thing. If you're saving money by splitting the bill, that's when you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's when you're wrong.
And you know what's smart about that is because that was planned as like we're going out for ramen, right?
Yeah.
Ramen, everybody, right? That's what we're agreeing on. We're only doing ramen.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody got there was like, oh, I'm gonna get the Wagyu.
Yeah, bro. Cha. Yeah.
Nah, hey, that's OD. And I was talking to Amani about it, and he was saying basically like he's like now he basically he has to monitor who's asking him to go out because like on some real shit though, because it really depends on who you're going out with.
Yeah.
And then I told this story. One of my friends, I'm not gonna throw her name into this, but if you listen, then shout out to you. So it was one of my friend's birthday, right? And I was coming home from school, and I was like, she had like a birthday dinner in the city. For those of you that know, I went to school in Long Island. So when I was coming home, I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop by. I'll have a drink or whatever, and then I'm gonna just shoot home. But I just want to stop, show face, show love. So I ended up, stopping by. When I got there, they had ordered their food and stuff already, and I was gonna order a drink, like I said, and go home. So when I'm looking at the menu to order, whatever, I'm trying to think of what I want. Kiki calls me. So when Kiki calls me, her and Shay was in the city, so they decided that they was gonna come to the spot that I was at. So they was like, yeah, don't worry about taking like the bus home or whatever. Like we'll just come enjoy the spot with you, and then we'll leave with you. We'll take you home. I'm like, all right, cool. So I end up staying longer, and I end up getting some wings. The wings, I think max for like $15 for like 8 wings or whatever. And I didn't feel like drinking anymore, so I just got like a water. Just got a water with lime in it. That was my order. Now, I'm the only guy at this birthday dinner. I think there's three or four other people there. Mm-hmm. And Kiki, Shay Shay get there. They order their drink from the bar, so they're not a part of the bill and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, we're all enjoying the night and shit like that. The bill comes, and the girls that was there, they was ordering, you know, surf and turf, bunch of shots, drinks, stuff like that. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So one of my friend's friends, at this point, my friend is inebriated. It's her birthday. You know, she's enjoying herself. She says we should take her bill and split it between us because it's her birthday, which I'm completely fine with.
Yeah.
Like, we went out for her birthday. She shouldn't have to pay. Mm-hmm. We'll split up her costs. Fine with that. My stuff, on top of us splitting her shit, I'm fine. But they split the bill, and then we split her stuff on top of the bill. So now they crunching numbers over there and stuff. And then they like, oh yeah, like it's like $80 or whatever per person.
That's 15.
Chris, I ordered 8 wings.
Yeah.
A $10 wing right there.
No.
So I'm like, at that point, I think I just got like my refund check from school. Like, I had it, but I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, that's crazy. But I didn't. Once again, I'm sober. I'm in the spot. I'm the only guy. So the girls is feeling nice. So I felt like, and also my pride, I'm like, bro, all the girls pull up their car with no problem.
I think I'll look at you like.
I'm like, nah, but my stuff was like, oh, okay. Like, so this nigga's broke. So, yo, bro, I paid it. Bro, my heart hurt so bad. But my friend, she's so real. The next day, when she was, you know, sober, we was having a conversation. And I was just like, I dead ass didn't order nothing on that bill, but I dead ass paid for it. And then she just, you know, she said me some bread back, whatever. But she honestly didn't have to. That shit was hilarious. Cause I'm like, I was just saying to her, I was like, cause I didn't know her friend. So I was like, your friend. And I was like, she just like was like, oh yeah, it's just this for everybody. And everybody's through they card. And I was like, it happened way faster than I was just explaining it like this. But my friend, she's the type where she was just like, while I was talking to her, my phone went off and she was like, oh yeah, I sent you back whatever. So she was like, you only paid what you would have paid. And I was like, yo, you're annoying. But I ain't gonna front. I would
take it.
Huh?
I'll take the money.
No, I didn't send it back.
Oh, okay.
Like, come on.
I took money. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, she did that out of goodness of her heart. I didn't ask for it, all right? But she sent it and, you know, she held it down, whatever. But I was just like, that was crazy. I really paid $10 for 8 wings. I mean, $10 per wing, and on an 8-piece. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, because you know I'm the type of person I follow budget. You know what I'm saying? So if I go in there with my budget, bro, and it gets taken out of because I got to cover your meal, it's unacceptable.
So how would you have handled that situation? Because I really wanted to say something, but I had no clue what to say.
I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Because I'm a fairly disagreeable person. You know, I'm a pretty disagreeable person. But I know part of me in that situation, like, in your situation, like, only guy, 5 girls, it's like, my pride might get the best of me in that moment.
Right.
It might have. I can't sit here and be like,
you would have said something, she's like, it's giving, bro. This thing don't got no buddy.
Especially, were you having a conversation with one of them?
I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so.
Would you like to have in maybe a future time, like, because that matters.
Word, matters. Yeah. You got save face,
because
man.
If you have no,
that's your intro. Like, oh, you're the guy that didn't want to split.
Because I mean, now let's ask this: imagine you had absolutely no interest in any of them.
Mm-hmm.
You might move different a little bit. You're like, well, I don't care.
I was so mad at myself.
That's one of the moments where you wish you could be like Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
You know? And just be like, no, that's ridiculous. I'm not paying. And just be fine with it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they end up respecting you more for it or some shit. You're like, wow, he really stood his ground on that, you know?
He'd be like, what? Like, cause I'm not like, bro, that's the thing is like, you don't want to make people feel like awkward. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you'd rather just be like,
I'll just take this on the chin.
Whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, nah. But with that being said, welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy Asante Dye, aka Demigod. We back on another beautiful recording day, and I'm here with my co-host and producer this episode.
Producer on camera this episode.
Yeah.
Welcome back to a new episode of Demigod Chronicles. There's a lot of interesting things going on in the world right now, so we're gonna have an exciting show.
Oh, what's up, guys? Yeah, I'm in front of the camera now. You know.
Yeah.
I was so well received the last time I'm like off camera that I was like, I'm being on camera this week, guys. All right, I don't care what you say. I was like,
You
Lay's
didn't
not
bring your
here.
boy Plank
Damn,
Where is he?
behind the couch.
He over there chilling.
Yeah,
I'll get him at some point. Maybe he'll come back in between ad break. He's in the bathroom. You know?
Yeah, he's in makeup. He's in hair and makeup right now.
Yeah.
He's getting set. But yeah, we back. You know, definitely happy to be here. I mean, not everybody's here, but Jace is back.
You think the viewers will notice over the episodes how my plants just keep getting more and more, like they might not make it?
Yeah. We might lose a couple viewers because of it.
Yeah,
A couple vegans out there might be like, wow.
some sponsors. Like,
Chris
does he
is
really
not-
care?
He's not the person I thought he was.
I mean, I try.
He's just letting that.
That
plant
thumb isn't
die
very
before
green,
our
is it?
eyes.
It's not. It's not. You know. And you could look. These aren't worker hands. You can, as we can see, these hands, they don't beat no mud. These are some nice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
I first tried to be a hand model. That was like the first thing I went for. But
that's fucking hilarious. But yeah,
he turned out they let they need some sun, right?
if anybody out there has any idea how to save some of these plants, there's one behind the camera that used to be over
Oh
there.
my god!
What-
RIP.
Yeah.
Did you name it?
No.
That one died.
RP Planty.
Yeah.
But yeah, he used to be over there, or they used to be over there, chilling, and you know,
I don't know what's going on, bro. We water it. We put sunlight. I think that one need to be repotted.
didn't you say you're gonna start whispering affirmations to them like
I
DJ
didn't
Khaled?
stick to that.
Like, I love you.
I didn't stick to that.
You gotta speak love into these plants, man.
Mahalet's in charge of that. I gave her that. You know what I'm saying? I asked her
It's
every
a
week.
team effort. I
Yeah.
water them.
I water you love them.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, yeah, but Lay's not here this week. Once again, she got some stuff she got to take care of. Missed her this week. Shout out to Lay. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. As Chris said, you know, we still dealing with. Well, before we get into stuff that's on the list, this weather. Let's talk about that real quick. Seems like small talk, but it's honestly not. It was 60 degrees on, what was that, Thursday? Friday?
Yeah.
Because the kids were out
Friday.
back playing.
Friday.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Friday was 60 degrees.
Friday,
The
beautiful.
next day was 20 degrees and like a blizzard.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And then today it says it's 35, but it still feels nice out.
No, it's nice.
I can't, bro. Like when weather changes like this is when I feel like I get sick.
Yeah.
What if it's normal?
How?
For normal for this to happen?
Well, yeah, like I feel like we know so little about climate change that it's hard for us to say what's really going on. I feel like we don't know a lot, but like we make it seem like we know a lot, but really don't know a lot.
But I just feel like in my experience from even when I was younger, like I remember there being a period of time where like snow stays on the floor until about like, you know, February. Then it might get a couple more heavy snows, and then you might get a little bit of, and then, you know, you get here early March, and then pretty much for like the second half of March, it starts getting nicer, and then April's nice.
Yeah.
Remember 2 years ago, just snow on the floor like a week before my birthday in April. But then there was like a 70-degree day in March. Like, what is going on? Like, I mean, global warming, obviously, you know, this is a thing.
Yeah.
But this shit is getting ridiculous.
Is it?
And huh?
I just don't know. I'm at this point, I don't know.
The
Wait, is it still
the
global?
ice caps
It's,
are
no, it can
melting.
only, it's climate change now, right?
Is
Mhm.
it climate change?
Global warming's not. You can't say that anymore.
I don't. The reason I don't know, I say I don't know.
Oh yeah, they are two different things. I shouldn't say
Is
that.
it two different things?
Yeah.
The reason I say I don't know.
Because then people would be like, "But wait, it's snowing." They'd be like, "It's not warming," you know.
Okay. I
And
see.
they'd be like, "Warming? That sounds nice," you know.
Oh my
Like, all
god.
right,
I
climate
say
change. It's
Climate change. But I feel like the time it takes for someone like to become an expert in something,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How many true climate change experts do you think there are in the world?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
Okay, what does it take to be a climate change expert?
that too.
Right?
What even qualifies it? Like, what is it?
We just have
Who-
to have a history of all the climate ever. You know?
Because we taking our information from, no disrespect, and I don't mean this disrespectfully.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're getting our information from Ashton Kutcher, for instance. You know what I'm saying?
Are you kidding me, bro?
I'm not. No.
Fucking Kelso is giving us our fucking climate change.
Is he the one who's all into climate change?
Kelso, right? That's that 70s show.
Yeah,
No, I think you're right.
that is a lot funnier.
I know
than
he
it should
does
have
a
been.
lot of shit.
I think he does. He
But I'm
does
saying,
human
he's
traffic.
right.
He does human trafficking and
Yeah.
climate
Yeah,
change.
He's
Does a
a
lot
great
of shit,
guy,
so I wouldn't
and I
be
know he's a
surprised.
great guy, a great philanthropist. Like he's really a great dude. But I'm saying the depth of knowledge that goes into really truly understanding climate change and the history and what we need to do to fix the issue so we don't put something in as a solution that makes everything worse.
Yeah.
Like who's really that deep into it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And I would like to know who these people, and I would like to know, like, maybe we should get them to, are those guys in the room, are those women in a room together, and have them talk it out and figure things out. But I just need to know who's giving out all this information. We got all these news sources, who they like. It's just like, and then everyone talks as if they are an expert. It's like, bro, you don't know nothing.
Word.
You don't know nothing. You don't know
I remember people was like, "Oh,
Greta
but
Thunberg,
the-
right?
yeah.
14-year-old who's just like, I don't want to go to school anymore. I want to sail around the world, you know, and talk about climate change, whatever the hell, wherever she's from. You're like, what the hell's this, man?
yo,
13-year-olds who like how she's been alive for 13 years. How much change could she have seen in her life? Right?
facts."
See, and this is where I get confused, and I just
Yeah.
want to know. I want answers because exactly. So the expert is this 13-year-old girl. It's like, okay, first off, let's be honest. Who's giving her information?
Yeah.
I guess, am I wrong to assume that she's getting her information, or should I assume that she's going through books and all the data, all the statistics, all the thing at 13? Maybe.
Like, how long ago did she learn to read? When do you learn
Yeah,
to
I
read?
would say at 13, how well are you even versed in like going to look for data?
Yeah, like 8, maybe you can read a book, like a, you know,
Maybe she has a 200
Harry
IQ,
Potter,
right?
you could read
The
it.
highest
I would
IQ.
say 6, 7 you can read.
When can you read Harry Potter? When do kids read Harry Potter, you think?
Gee, I ain't
Average
know.
kid, not some like.
Have you guys even read Harry Potter?
No,
I've never read Harry Potter in my life.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's like a good
I would say
age of
sixth grade,
6th grade.
so like 11.
Okay. Yeah. What? And you're telling me this girl? Yeah, she's an expert. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Do you
I
guys?
don't know.
Okay. Do you guys believe humans are affecting the climate?
Yes,
Yes.
but I think I learned this from Alan Watts.
I do as well.
I learned this from Alan Watts. He goes, the Western world, they see we live in a world like we see things as cause and effect.
yeah,
That's how we've been taught our whole lives, cause and effect. But Eastern society sees the world as they don't see a bee in a flower. Like wherever you see a flower, you see bees. Wherever there are bees, there are flowers. So those two things go with one another.
Gotcha.
So it's like this experience we're having with the climate per se is what happens when humans live on the earth. Like it's a working of the sorts together.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
So it's kind of like that. So yeah, is it that
like
humans
it
are
figures
having
each other out.
Yeah,
essentially.
so is it that humans are having an effect on the climate, or is it that the way the world is and humans are one and the same? You know, and it's just kind of a different way of thinking at it. And that's why I run on the basis of climate. Like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not gonna say I pretend like I do. I just don't know.
Mhm.
You know, because because you see everything as cause and effect, right? So we could try to put a solution in, thinking that we're gonna better the world, and then whatever ends up happening is we make things worse.
yeah.
And that happens sometimes, like the 3-strike rule. We're gonna get crime off the street.
So you're
Next thing
saying
you
like
know, you ruin a community because you think you're trying to solve a problem, but you actually made it a lot worse.
like trying to fuck up like the natural order of things? You're saying?
Yeah, it's that's why that goes back to like before we were talking about ego and stuff. It's like it's always not great to just assume you know. It's not always great to assume you have solutions that you might not have because you know you never know when you could just make things worse.
Facts.
I think it's such a crazy thing, bro. Because like even dinosaurs, right? When dinosaurs were just living their life, these huge animals, who knows how much CO2 they released into the atmosphere in their life? You know, they didn't make it. For some reason or another, Earth wanted dinosaurs off it. Like this whatever you want to call it, creator, whatever you want to call the Earth, like it didn't want these creatures here anymore, so got rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see it, like how I see the world
So
a little bit.
Parasitic versus symbiotic relationship.
Like some people say, well, they say an asteroid hit the Earth, or some people say we went to an ice. I don't know what happened. They don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Do they really know what
Yeah, you
happened?
can't really ever.
We come
know
up
what
with
happened.
theories. They're all theories.
Well, we
right?
all seen Ice Age, right? Those movies are scientific fact. No.
Yeah, no, they found the mammoth, the squirrel,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
saber-tooth tiger all together.
Oh
You know?
my god!
And that thing with the
Guy
eye
as well.
patch saved them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Right.
Yeah.
my god!
They found it. They uncovered
That-
it.
That was a documentary.
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
They were fossilized.
Ice Age might be based on like Charles Darwin, like his exact like dictionary and his journal.
Oh, was it still Pangea?
Yeah. But they called it something else.
Oh,
Yeah.
We made that name.
Yeah, it
Up.
was
They
called-
called it something different.
It was called Compton. And then, and then it broke into everything else.
oh, that's even crazy. They still spoke English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And Jesus was white.
Shit.
Or on climate change, do you think sometimes like a function of it is a little bit of like human beings' own like ego to want to like almost like dictate the climate? You get me? No, because like in
Yeah,
your way of
that's
thinking,
interesting.
you're like, all right, like if we're meant to be here, and do this to the Earth and humans will work it out, like the Eastern way of thinking, right? We'll
Mhm.
work it out, and if not, then either one will exist or one won't. You
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
And then like the Earth, so to say, is just like, all right, the humans are no good. Try again, you know. So it's like, do you think humans are being like, oh, we're affecting climate, so therefore we have to make sure us and this Earth can coexist? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's
But like, yeah, it's like humans' own thing of like they want to be like, oh no, like we want to make sure like we're gonna control this
Yeah.
shit so that way we can stay here forever. And we're gonna keep it the same and almost like not allow it to evolve. You could say in a certain way.
it's because
Right?
like
You
humans
can't dictate what 100 years from now is better for the Earth
'Cause
or not.
humans put everything into categories. Like with our experience on, we put meaning to everything, right? We put meaning on things. So to humans, let's say they have this point of degree that the Earth's supposed to be. That's in their heads,
Yeah.
right? They have a way things are supposed to be based on when they started recording it, right? So with that start date and everything they're recording, they put meaning onto this is what's going on. This is what should be going on. This is why we think it's wrong. But I look at the same time, it's like, well, how long have we been recording for?
Yeah.
Okay, what if that's only a small speck?
Yeah. How long is the record?
You know, that could be a small, like this right now could be a small like little speck.
Yeah.
In the Earth's billions of years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old the Earth is.
That's right.
Is
Like
it?
billions
Yeah.
of years.
Probably.
So,
yeah.
What if
Maybe older. Who
Humans are
knows?
probably freaking out. What if Earth's like, what do you? Like, it's just what we do, baby.
Word. It's like you calling
We're
the
taking them.
you're calling the fucking humans that exist now some of the best athletes ever. You don't think there was some Neanderthals out there that was lifting up
Yo,
20-pound fucking boulders and
Shot
chucking them
put,
into the
bro.
next county?
Yeah.
Fucking subhumans.
What do you
just-
think?
Just throw
How do you
them.
think LeBron would face against a gladiator?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're fairly small.
Yeah.
I feel like people
He
have
definitely has
definitely
way-
gotten bigger.
He definitely has a way better diet than anything ever did. So it's like,
Now I heard the
He's gonna go
I
into
heard
the
the
fight more
gladiators they was
nutrition,
eating.
like-
they
Bro,
was eating
whenever-
good.
This is a little off topic, but whenever I think of like those times, just because of how it's always like depicted, I just think their diets were like a plate of fruits, like a loaf of bread, and just like turkey legs, right?
yeah, like
It's just
something
like-
you get at medieval times.
Yeah, they were all just eating
Yeah.
like, and then just red wine.
But think about it, bro. There was no hormones. Their food was actually more nutritious.
Yeah,
So they were eating good. Whoa. Some people were eating very
Yeah.
good. A small portion of society, you know. Maybe the gladiators were eating good. You know what I'm saying? Or the king was eating good. Or like
Yeah.
the soldiers were eating good.
Like you're a gladiator.
You,
How-
you're
how
trained to
good you
fight.
probably-
Like the
yeah.
Spartans. You don't think the Spartans were eating good, bro?
and now they had to
Yeah,
be.
they had to be.
They had to be.
Like
Put
they were
olive
just
oil on,
a society of
keeping that skin tight.
well, they said the Mediterranean diet is like one of the healthiest diets in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has the best mixture of like the the fuck is it called?
Phytonutrients?
No, because where they are, it's a perfect area for like land animals, so they could slaughter land animals. They have the sea to fish from, and then they have like their soil is like the best to grow.
Yeah.
The ingredients to produce around those things.
Yeah. They eat a
It's
lot
like
of vegetables.
a lot of their meals like it'll be like fish on a bed of vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
They did if they have rice, it's like long grain rice and shit like that. So they're just because of their climate. Ironically, it produces like just better stuff.
Abundance of fish.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Omega-3s, all that good stuff.
You know how elite Native Americans really had to be able to eat for 4 different seasons? Like some places deal with one season. It's always hot. They would have like rain, drought seasons. But they went through snow. They went through winter, spring, fall, summer.
Yeah.
So like they went months with no crops. All you would be able to eat was probably like an apple maybe and a green leafy. No. And then summer would come. If you lived in the Jersey area, you get berries everywhere.
Bro,
they were hunter gatherers, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have like livestock at all.
No.
Really. I mean, I think they grow some crops. Isn't that the old like story? They taught like pilgrims. Oh fuck no, it's just probably not true.
Bro,
Yeah,
Taught pilgrims how to
just like the Ice Age story.
Bro,
yeah, they taught pilgrims how to like grow corn. I don't know.
But our species is amazing though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Think about it. We were able to do what can't we do almost our species line like
Fucking we traversed the entire globe. You know.
We can't
spread across the whole thing.
We can't love each
We
other.
had to start probably in one place.
We had to.
Eventually we got to every continent and then
Africa.
we separated. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. Fertile Crescent, right?
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and then fucking got to the North Americas all the way down
We did
to South
everything,
America.
bro.
That's
Africa,
crazy.
Antarctica, we did
Like,
everything.
imagine starting from Africa.
it mind
and
bog
then you go
every
all around
every
the globe
winter.
to South, like Argentina. How the hell you get all the way down there, man? How
Yeah.
do people get all the way down there?
Bro, generations
clue.
of people walking. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Walking settle here.
A
Walking
500-year journey of your family. We started in Africa, now we're in
And we're everywhere.
South.
There's people who live in.
that wasn't the best
What?
comparison.
What?
Some of those people ain't walked from Africa.
Both?
No, it was a slave joke.
I'm
Sorry,
talking about like
sorry guys.
I'm talking about
Cancel
way
me.
before even slavery.
No, I was
hunter
being
gatherer.
I was being stupid.
Like that shit.
No, but it's whenever I think about like what the climate is like, right? In the wintertime. I was like, how were people
Yeah.
like you watched it, you just look at that painting of George Washington and them crossing the Delaware. How did they survive in that weather?
Bro,
wearing
they were-
one shoe probably.
But they were so
I'm
they were
saying, like
they were smart enough to know like if the animals could survive out here, then we just kill them and take their hide and put it around us.
Yeah, but they would start off with like 80 men and get to their destination with like 7 people.
That's nuts.
Have to eat some of their friends on the way there. Like that shit is nuts. Like, or think about even being in a house. Being in your house right now is completely sealed, but you could wake up. It was a little chilly in here. Let me turn up the heat. Right now, think about being in a log cabin where the only thing
Fire.
that's separating from you outside is wood and moss stuffed in between, and you have a fire inside running, and God forbid it spills over while you're sleeping. Now you're in a fucking tinder box, and you're done. Like life was that movie
Like-
Year One. Remember that with Seth Rogen and them?
yeah.
It's like there was so many different ways to die. It's like someone was just sitting there and they got like stung by a bee and just crawled. Like there was no Benadryl. If you were allergic to something or you accidentally ate it, that was your death sentence. Like you're done.
Yeah, I saw this video recently of it's this Instagram page called Nature's Metal,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this video of like a lion eating something at night, and they shine like the camera on it, and like I couldn't help but just think like, yo, I can't imagine like
I saw you
Yeah.
share that.
I couldn't. I was just like, and I was just like, I can't imagine being like in like a just being surrounded by nothing but like a couple like sticks maybe and like bushes as a shelter. Knowing all I have is like a stick, and I know those things are just like out there at night, or just like hearing wolves howling. And you're just like, oh my god, I hope this fire keeps them away. I hope they're not hungry enough that
Yeah.
they feel like coming and challenging me and my 10, tribesmen or whatever we
That
are.
they're
you
not
know?
hungry enough.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back for a quick break. Our guest is finally here. Jason, slide back. Thanks. Plank.
Hey, man, come over.
Yeah.
here.
For those of you that listen, Plank has joined us in the studio. Welcome,
Yeah.
Plank.
What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, so bro, just to catch you up, we was talking about some other shit before, but now we're about to talk about, drum roll, Deshaun Watson. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, and let me preface this whole conversation first. Rape and or being accused of, being a victim of, it's not anything to play around about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a serious situation. There's people out there, who have dealt with that situation that, their stories never came to light, or people might not believe them. There's people that have dealt with those situations that have been falsely accused and their lives have been ruined. And, we equally, feel bad for both parties. Now, with that being said, let's talk about it. The NFL has reinstated Deshaun Watson.
They reinstated him too?
Yeah. He was found not guilty.
He wasn't even.
I don't know anything about this.
He didn't even go to court.
I didn't even know about this.
There was no criminal charge at all.
No, he was tried on some of them, and he was found not guilty.
We even make it.
There was like 50 of them. There's 22 that got cleared.
No, he was cleared of all criminal, but he's still charged with civil cases.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. All right. So yeah, he got cleared of 22 criminal accusations of sexual assault and sexual misconduct.
Mm-hmm.
So now this means that in, I would say, the court's eyes, because we still have to stay impartial here, in the court's eyes and in most people's eyes, he would be not guilty. So with that being said, we had a conversation about it when it first happened.
How many accusers?
Civil cases right now, 22.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it was like they said it was like upwards of like 50 women that said something.
I didn't hear anything about this.
But it was crazy. The thing that was always most interesting to me about it was like the timeline of how things happened.
Yep.
Because
and the lawyer working on the case.
Yeah. We spoke about this before. You remember more about that, so talk about that real quick.
The lawyer is like friends with the owner of the Texans, I believe.
Yeah.
And it happened right after Deshaun Watson said he didn't want to play for the Texans anymore.
Requested a trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been playing for this team at that point, I think, for what, 5 years in the NFL? And he was a all-star quarterback.
The prosecuting lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. And it was weird because
and he played for the Texans.
Yeah, the one defending the one he was the lawyer for the women that were accusing him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it was almost like what the timeline of it looked like. He requested this trade, and in the minute he requested this trade, now all these accusations come up.
Exactly.
To just ruin his stock, right?
Like what happened?
And so now with this, I think like if that's the case, then you have to launch a deeper investigation into like how this went on, why it went on, and shit like that, because that's a risky game to play, because now you it's already a crazy thing to accuse someone of rape and it should not be true. But now if you have people that are willing to like corroborate your story and fucking cooperate with you on all of this shit, and it's some like they're trying to pin him in the situation.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I can assume someone probably came to him with an ultimatum if that's the case. Like, yo, you're gonna stay here, you're gonna do whatever, or this is coming to light. But shit like that shit shouldn't be able to happen, bro.
Nah, that's if it's proven at all that they conspired together to do that, they should they need to face some kind of repercussions.
Yeah,
lawyer definitely debarred,
Yeah.
and definitely jail time. Like that's crazy.
That's scary.
If it's so wait, all the criminal court charges dropped.
Yeah,
just
there's
civil. Just
he's
civil
only done with
charges at
civil.
this point.
So I'm not too hip on the house. I think the difference is with civil, there's no jail time, but I'm not too hip on how all that stuff works.
I think it's just money, right?
I couldn't tell you. I think so. I'm not sure, but to me that's just
crazy. Yeah, that part of that story, that's very conspiratorial.
What I don't like
that's crazy
about society now at this point is like we have this belief that you're guilty. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But now in society, it's like you're guilty until proven innocent or more guilty. It's like, if someone like Deshaun Watson, if you've never been in trouble before everyone who's ever coached you says you're a great kid. Your teammates like you. And then now one thing comes out against you. When in society do we stop saying, hey, we'll give good people who've shown to be good their whole lives the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
You know, and always remember that, like Asante gave the preface before, where obviously we're aware of these things, but there's also a small percentage of people in this world who will say the lies to go against someone. So we also can't forget that. It's all working into the situation at hand.
Mhm.
So we should at least suspend judgment until all the facts come out. Suspend judgment until we find out what the complete situation is. Not just say, this person's guilty, take away their life, take away their career, take them out, end them, and then now you come back and it's like, oh, well, maybe all these aren't true. He's not a criminal. He's not these things. Now what? Reinstated back into NFL. So what? You took a year away from football for him for what now?
Yeah.
2.
And
It took 2 years away from him.
Mm-hmm.
But you took 2 years of football away from him, and you didn't, like, why not? If you guys trust, if everyone in the league know he's a good guy, why not wait until the facts come out until you take something away from him?
I think we talked about that before. People are kind of just afraid to be even associated with it if it's an accusation behind it, and that's kind of like, yes, there's a truth behind it. Like, if someone's name is associated with something, maybe they are acting within that field,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, even if it's not true about this guy, there's too many things floating around him that I even want to, associate with him. But there's some people that are honestly good people that just get caught up in crazy situations like that.
Yeah.
And for that reason, you do have to, like we were talking about, being prejudiced to judge somebody before, right? If you don't know what the situation is, if the shit didn't play out in court, just like there's people who, I don't know, they have situations and they're not of the stature as like a athlete or an artist or something like that. And wherever they live in their area, it just, people don't even attempt to figure out the facts after the case,
yeah.
They just like, oh, that's a dude that was accused that one time of rape. And that'll be stained on you forever.
Yeah.
Rather than that's the dude that was falsely accused of rape.
Yes.
Like, even if you were found not guilty, they're not going to throw that on your name, or they're not going to say, oh, this is the person that was, accused of this or falsely. Like, it's a situation where it's just like, once that shit is attached to your name and it even has any type of legs underneath it, people are going to feel away. And I think that's something that I think Chris might have said before. He might have said it on the pod when we were talking about the whole Tory situation of, like, some of these people that he deals with, he felt like if there was some truth to it, those people wouldn't be around that person at all because of their brand is too much, So it's just like, I think as a public, especially now with social media and everything, people can run with things. And because of social media, it'll look like that's the public opinion when sometimes it may not be.
I mean, it is a little bit, right? It's like the court of public opinion, like saying, like, in the court of a public opinion, we do judge you guilty before innocent. Once you're associated with it, we're just gonna be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and you're branded with it.
Why do you?
for a while.
Why?
And then people are scared to associate.
Like,
it just-
Why do you think people? Why do you think people, the average person, assumes you're guilty first?
Because people just want to be outraged about something. I feel like because
like, I think it's like, imagine like all right, Tory Lanez, whatever. Like, we operate in the same circle for
Mhm.
some reason. Let's imagine we're both, we both have a public personality. We'll just use him, and then he goes through that. Now I don't want to associate with him because what if now that does, yeah, he's not guilty yet, but I hang out with him now, hang out with him up until then, and then he does turn out to be guilty.
Yeah.
Now I hung out with the guy who shot someone, and like
Yeah.
now those people are correct about me. The whole time they were saying, like,
But
how dare you? He shot this person. How dare you hang out with him? That's wrong.
But
And I'm like, I wasn't there. I think he's my friend.
I don't even
Mhm.
think like that scenario is you telling him he's guilty. I mean, for the people who like will be like, yeah, he did it. Like all those, like he did it. I don't know why why would he do that? But he did it. He did it. Like, what makes somebody automatically assume someone's guilty first?
It's the just in case, I guess.
Mhm.
It's like just in case. It's like how much do I really want to hang out with you and be seen with you in public?
What about people
like?
who?
Is it worth just in case?
You talking about
Now being-
regular
I'm
people?
talking about everyone.
I
Like,
think
even people on
associated
social
with
media.
that
I think with damn, I wish I could credit the person who said this, but I forgot who I was listening to.
Mhm.
I was listening to someone give an interview, and they were the person being interviewed, and they said that they noticed once they got, I think it was this guy Blue. He's an artist.
Young Blue.
No,
Oh.
not Young Blue. He's like literally an artist, like a painting
Oh.
artist. He hangs out with Stilo. He actually just did some Sprite cans. I think it was him. He said that when people are in your area, or if you're a peer to people, right?
Yeah.
When you reach a level of ascension and you reach stardom of anything, whatever you're doing, whatever field you're in, people are waiting to see you have a downfall because they're just like, it's like in their head, they're like, oh, I knew he wasn't that, or I knew that about him. Like, oh, he always gave me these kind of vibes. He always did that. So it's like people already have this thing in you. Like they have this invested feeling, and oh, they only succeeded because of this. Like if it came out tomorrow that Jay-Z's a sadist and he performed it, so I know that's why he's a billionaire. I knew all that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So people are waiting for something to be an excuse for the reason of why you're down. It's your downfall. So I think with most people, when they see a celebrity, because celebrities are put on pedestals, they could do no wrong, all of this stuff until they do wrong. You feel me? One day everybody will love this person, the next day everyone hates him. But it's the same people that love them that are saying all these crazy things about him. And I think it's just that like, it's like an inferior like complex in your mind that people are just like, oh, they only got this because they were there. Oh yeah. This person might have got MVP, but they only got MVP because this person was there. Now they're trading, they're playing bad. See, you proved my point the whole time. But when they're MVP, you were congratulating them. When they were dealing with this, you were congratulating them. So I think people have this thing, it's kind of like a sickness in their head that they just think that people are just supposed to mess up when they're in these places. That's why a person like LeBron gets so much public court, and he literally doesn't have anything but good things in the media. But people will still be like, someone went viral the other day. You sent it to me, the thing with LeBron touching a girl at the game, whatever. Oh, I knew he had a side, but he's too perfect. How did you know these things when there's no proof of there's no proof of anything that you didn't know? People say, "Oh, I knew Tory had a little man complex, and I knew he would shoot a bitch and did it." What has Tory ever done in his things are patterns? Right? We talk about patterns. What has he ever done in his history to show you that he was that type of person? Like same thing. Oh, you tell something about somebody. Oh, I knew they were a fucked up friend. I knew they weren't a good friend in you. But if they're a good friend in you the whole time, it's the first time in the issue. How did you know that?
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
have that preset in their head of like, all right, oh yeah, Deshaun Watson, he's good, but I knew he had to be creep. He's a football player. He's this, he's that. It's like niggas just want you to be. They want you to prove them right.
Yeah,
basically.
No.
The whole time you're succeeding, it's an anomaly to them. And then when you mess up, oh yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
The evil eye.
Bro, you know how many people were congratulating Fetty when he was on his way up in this area, and then now it's like, oh, who listens to Fetty? Who did it? And it's just like, oh yeah, I knew he was going. And then I remember when he got arrested for drugs, like, oh yeah, he fell right back into the Patterson life, right? Yeah. Can't leave that alone. But it's like, bro, like this man was on top of the world for the last couple of years, and then now even with that, they're saying that situation had nothing to do with him. It was just found on his residence because of whoever was staying with him, right? He's not facing criminal charges right now. He's out. So how did you know? Oh yeah, once you from Patterson, you always from Patterson. Like people just want to say those things just so it means something to them when it doesn't really mean anything at all.
Yeah, but then if you weren't, they'd be like, you forgot where you came from, right? They always find a loophole.
Nah, people always want to justify why you are where you are instead of just the fact that you put in work to get there.
No, it's just fucking negative Nellies, man. You know, freaking negative Nellies. All those people.
Yep.
Just gravitate towards the negative.
Fucking bugging. And then all right, so we just brought up the GOAT's name, so we gotta start talking about him off rip. He's staying on the sports topic. LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
He's a part of the worst organizations right now in the league.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
But
okay, hold on.
What's up?
You didn't have to give that kind of intro.
I did because
no. Wait. Who got more rings than us?
Bro, can you stop?
I'm just saying.
You're a Lakers
I'm talking
fan?
about current, not your team.
I know that.
But you stepped in hostile.
Because
You could just
it's
said
gonna
he
make
plays- You could just say he plays for the Lakers.
okay. Now, like I said, LeBron James plays
Plays for
for
the Lakers.
one of the worst
Lakers.
teams in the NBA right
Lakers.
now.
Mhm.
He's 37 years old
Mhm.
and he's leading the league in scoring, right?
Go.
And the reason why I said that is because if LeBron James was on the Warriors, if he was on a team that was doing good, it wouldn't, it should give him a round of applause, all right, by saying that. But I think people have to really start honestly like appreciating his greatness, bro, because every time I see LeBron do something, right? And it's always an amazing feat, whether he passes somebody up, there's always so many critics under the post. And I get it. This man has been perfect in the public eye. So people, like I just said, have to find something to nitpick about. But once this man is done playing, bro,
Mhm.
I don't know where else we're gonna see this like that
It
consistently.
always happens, you know. You
Like-
don't appreciate someone when they're around.
It's like
Fully.
I can't like when LeBron came into and his whole campaign for his rookie year makes perfect sense now. Absolute perfect sense.
Yeah.
The whole witness thing.
He's the
He
shortest one.
was letting you know, I'm this person and I'm ushering in a new era to the league. And you're gonna witness me coming to the league at an 18-year-old, as an 18-year-old, and I'm gonna run this league until I'm 40.
Yeah.
Right? And for someone to say, yeah, right. Someone said, oh, you'll touch injuries, this and that. Bro, the man has been great for a long time,
It's
bro.
unstoppable.
I don't just because you like Kobe, just because you like KD, just because you're a Kyrie fan and you feel like LeBron and Kyrie could have got together and they could have got along better and
Yeah.
stuff like that. All that shit is bullshit, bro. Respect the man for the greatness that he is.
Bro, I've never heard someone give a logical, non-emotional based response of why LeBron is not the best basketball player in the world.
He's not Kobe. No one asked you that.
And that's that. I mean, straight logic. Like, no, take your emotions and your feelings and what you saw and the hype around when Jordan. He brought NBA. I don't care about any of that.
So over MJ to you guys. Nice.
Yes.
He's the best
Yeah.
player
LeBron over
ever to.
MJ.
He
Yeah.
When he retires, he's gonna be a leading scorer. He'll be top 5 in assists, top 5 in rebounds, top 5 in steals, top 5 in blocks. He has what, 3 rings?
Mm-hmm.
3 rings, 2 MVPs,
Well, he has 4 rings.
4 rings, 4 Finals MVPs. How many MVPs? League MVPs?
I don't even know.
He's been All Pro every year,
Yes.
All Star every year,
Yes.
and he's leading the league in scoring. He's about to get a scoring title at 37.
And before his team was bad, at the beginning of the season, he said in an interview, he said, I could lead the league in scoring if I want to. I want my team to be good. He's saying, I don't have to score a lot because I want everybody around me to score. I want to be a good team. That wasn't happening. And people say, oh, LeBron can't lead the league. LeBron is delusional. Da-da-da. He hasn't been the best person in the league since Kawhi took over and all the bullshit. Because he did it. Every time I watch somebody just say this man can't do something, he does it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna win. He's not gonna win a ring with the Lakers. He does it. Oh, but it was COVID. They're in the bubble. They didn't have to travel.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't the same thing. It wasn't. What?
Everyone dealt with the same thing.
Yeah, asterisk year, they always say.
Everyone
Yeah.
dealt with the same exact
Exactly.
scenario.
If his scenario was different and everyone was traveling to the Lakers bubble, okay, whatever.
That's part of the game. Is like, yo,
Everyone was
were
in the
able to
same
keep
spot.
Your team
And
in order.
you're
you guys
professional.
all showed up. You guys professional. You guys kept your mental sanity. If
Yeah.
that's it, like all that shit. You
And-
stayed
and
healthy.
There's a
worked out.
trade-off because people were like, "Oh,
Discipline.
one of the things about that makes the playoffs hard is the fact that you have to travel so much
Yeah.
and how your body feels from game to game and getting adjusted to time zone and things like that." Right now, they had to play the mental aspect.
Yeah.
They're athletes. People are looking to them for the only entertainment in the world right now, basically.
Yeah.
Because at that point, there was no other sports on. 2, they're still dealing with the same things that people are terrifying people. Getting a phone call, this person's dead, this person got COVID, we don't know if they're going to survive, da-da-da. And then they're in the bubble away from their families. You don't think Jason Tatum could have had a bad game because his son was born and he literally had to see him on FaceTime? He can't leave
Yeah.
because protocols, and he can't make sure his girl is good and stuff like that. Those are mental factors that now, yeah, you can sub out that jet lag, but that's now whatever that is. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like people just find an excuse for his greatness, just like we said before, all the time, and that shit is just ridiculous to me.
You know, people are. And I was thinking before I asked you guys that, why you think people always assume people are guilty first?
Yeah.
I think I've learned that people judge themselves so harshly that they default in judging others harshly, because I feel like other people want others to feel how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people make themselves feel really down on a day-to-day basis. So any light they see shining, it's like in them unconsciously to put the light out. And I see it like the whole crabs in a bucket mentality. I've seen it over and over in friends group. I've seen a group of friends. One person wants to stop drinking, right? And the rest of the friends make fun of him or bring him down or try to encourage him to drink again.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that person's trying to stop drinking and better their lives. Why is people like jokingly or unjokingly trying to get him to do something he's trying to stop doing again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people do that with everything. It could be a group of friends and one person wants to, go out and get a new job or something to make more money, and people are like, man, what are you doing that for?
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with like Tory. It's the same thing with Deshaun. It's the same thing with anybody, honestly. You see someone doing well, something finally happens where you're like Asante said, you can finally be like, I knew it. And you could just put that light out. It's why? Because your light's not shining.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody whose light is shining in their own heart, not in the eyes of others, in your own light. If your own light's not shining, if your light's shining, you'll never try to put someone else's light out. Because yours is shining bright. Why would you would never want to put someone, only when your heart is dark and you don't got things in your own belief system. That if you don't, you can have everything in the world, but if you don't believe like you're doing something, you don't see your own light shining, you will then try to put other people's light out.
Yeah.
Easy.
And
Scarcity mindset, you know what I'm saying? It's like you think that there's a scarcity of whatever success or greatness. So therefore, if someone else is successful, that decreases your odds of being successful.
It's out here for everybody.
Yeah. Pull that, someone's getting out the bucket, pull them back down.
And it also,
if they get out, I can't.
And it also takes your excuses away. So like say we grew up in the same environment, but you become successful and I don't. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute.
That nigga worship the devil. That's why.
Yeah. It can never be, wow, he outworked me.
Yeah.
It can never be, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Something like, he got out because he worshiped the devil makes the life just so much easier.
I was willing to do that. That's why I'm here.
I wouldn't sell my soul. Yeah. Money not that important.
No, you drank malt liquor. And he went to the studio. I think you made a perfect point about that a few months ago when the Henry Ruggs situation happened. And everybody was just, oh, he killed someone. He's a monster. Imagine how young and dumb and immature you were at 20 years old. Now put yourself not only with millions and millions of dollars in your bank account, but put you in Vegas.
Jesus.
And you think you're going to make good decisions? No. He made a bad decision. I know people that made a bad decision to wrap their tree around the car, but they got out the car and nobody else lost their life. Yeah. If he would have did that, it would have been, oh, he got into the same situation you got into. But it's the fact that someone else lost their life. And it's unfortunate, but he made a young, dumb, immature mistake, and it's going to affect him for the rest of his life now. So if you don't have some type of sympathy towards that, I'm not saying praise the man or whatever the case may be, but you have to be sympathetic to the fact that, like,
he's a kid, bro.
Yeah, he's a kid, man. Like, he's a kid. He made a bad decision, and now it's going to affect him.
Forever.
For you to be like, he was cocky, and that's what that gets. I'm watching grown-ass people do this, bro. Imagine that was your child. Imagine that was your child's friend, bro. Like, people make bad decisions all the time. Just not everybody has the same amount of exposure on them, and not everybody's decisions result in someone, unfortunately losing their life. So it's just like,
and think about the people who even have time to spend all day hating on other people.
Yeah, you gotta be empathetic.
What Drake say? He said, "What I look like arguing with somebody who don't pay for their Wi-Fi." What I like arguing with someone over Wi-Fi they don't pay for, something like that. It's like
Fab got
who?
Fab who? Fab got a verse like that. He said, broke niggas keep talking something reply why. He said they keep talking because it's free Wi-Fi or some shit like that.
Sorry.
I don't know why you hate Fab.
I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody. I'm just not impressed. Fab doesn't impress me.
Overrated?
Nah, Chris definitely thinks Fab is overrated.
It's Bubba Uno, so you know it's lit.
Get that bag, get through.
Broadcast my face, keep my good on the hush. My struggles is a part of me. Late night in houses doing dumb shit and robberies. Be lying if I said being broke, this shit ain't bother me. Tryna touch an M if you ain't helping, why you calling me? Came a long way from projects and having fist fights. You don't bought my music, fuck you, cause your bitch might. Asking another nigga for money just don't feel right. Never ask for help, rather do this shit myself. They say time heals all wounds, somebody say they lying. They say time heals all wounds, my nigga steady dying. They say time heals all wounds, my mama steady crying. They say time heals all wounds, they gave my daddy time. I got a lot of shit I gotta focus on. Niggas biting cheese, we call them rest, they in provolone. Ain't in the army, been away, mama, your soldier home. It's been a long 7 months or days since I've been gone. I got a lot of shit
Sometimes
I
you
gotta
gotta rap
focus
about
on.
your life,
Niggas
man.
biting cheese, we
Shit
call
was
them rest,
going
they
on.
in provolone. Ain't in the army, been
Eviction
away,
notice after
mama, your
eviction
soldier home.
notice.
It's
No
been a
place to
long
stay.
7 months or days
You
since I've
feel
been
me?
gone.
Shit real, man. Shit real, like they just what I've been going through, you feel me? Yeah.
Don't judge a nigga cause the shit I been through. Don't know what I went through, shit fucked up my mental. Gotta watch your back, you can't let them come and get you. You can't let them come and get you. Pray for better days, I've been praying for a while. Told Layla I won't stop, so I can't stop now. Whatever I started, I gotta finish. That's why I got a picture of her hands on my pendant. Popping pills till I'm numb to the pain. They say time heal, but this shit still the same. Been lying to the world, cause this shit'll never change. Say this shit'll never change. Broadcast my face, keep my good on the hush. My struggles is a part of me. Late night in houses doing dumb shit and robberies. Be lying if I said being broke, this shit ain't bother me. Tryna touch an M if you ain't helping, why you calling me? Came a long way from projects and having fist fights. You don't bought my music, fuck you, cause your bitch might. Asking another nigga for money just don't feel right. It just don't feel
If you
right.
ain't from the struggle, you can't tell me what it mean. Used to hustle every day, push your packs like a swing. Till my nigga Rich died, then we started towing beans. Cause somebody wake me up, shit it feel like a dream. If it's blood on my shirt, then it's blood on your jeans. At 15, my pop said he wasn't coming back. So all the stain and drug money had to double that. The fiends say the work good, so they double back. Run off with the work and little nigga, you ain't coming back. I'm a right-hander, but I shoot with the left. Catch me in the kitchen with a whipping like a chef. You a pussy nigga, why you flogging on the net? If I send my shooters at you like some plastic, you get scratched. If I ain't in the stew, then I'm probably in the jets. Every time the members call, I gotta answer, they collect. I don't know what you gon' do, but I'ma die for my
Broadcast my face,
respect.
keep my good on the hush. My struggles is a part of me. Late night in houses doing dumb shit and robberies. Be lying if I said being broke, this shit ain't bother me. Tryna touch an M if you ain't helping, why you calling me? Came a long way from projects and having fist fights. You don't bought my music, fuck you, cause your bitch might. Asking another nigga for money just don't feel right.
It just don't feel right. It don't feel right. And I get higher than a kite. I get high like satellites.
And that right there was your song of the week. That was Struggles by my boy Liko, aka Malik. It's my guy from school. He a hard worker. Song's called Struggles. You know, he talks about some things he goes through in his personal experience and stuff like that, and just, you know, giving you some motivation.
Yeah, I love pain music. I mean, I love when people put their pain in their music because I think we've all experienced pain, and when you could hear that in someone's voice and you could hear it through the emotion they put in their songs, I just love it. So that's my favorite type of music. So
Yeah, I like when you can. It's like visceral when you can feel like the emotion in something, like you know, like it's not just like putting on the voice. It's like, oh yeah, you could feel like you know it's there. You hear it.
Yeah,
You hear the lived experience.
Facts.
You know.
My boy's still in tune with school and sports right now, but you know, he doing
keep it going.
his music on the side.
Keep it going.
Can't wait to see him, you know, put together a complete body of work. I'm a fan, and like he said in the song, it don't matter if you don't listen to his music, because your bitch might, but you definitely should. Go bum my boy. You can find him on Instagram _L1KO Liko. I know a girl that stayed with a guy because she had 9,000 followers on Instagram when they met, and after they became a couple, she got up to I think like 12 or 13 or something like that, and she was like, "Oh, he was good for my aesthetic." Oh, okay.
Wow. 4,000. That's not enough. I would do it for. I would do that for. I'd have to increase my following by at least like
recording
yeah we are at least about like 45%,
for what?
whatever that is.
For
The
what?
following.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. 4,000. What's it? What is that?
Like there's
From 9,000 to 12,000. You said
yeah
3,000.
3.
That's nothing.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
Uh,
we're
yeah.
recording.
Recording
so-
already?
yeah,
we are.
Oh, I thought we were gonna talk about the.
we good. We got
I didn't even know he was easing into.
we got
anything.
painted.
I didn't know he was paying.
The there's mad celebrity couples though. That's like fucking. There's no way they're together. It's something's happy home. That guy is gay.
Who?
I forgot what his name is. They're like the perfect white couple. It's like this Texas Christian guy. He had blonde hair,
I
blue
know
eyes.
exactly who you're
Bro,
talking about.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with it,
Absolutely.
but I feel like they're a couple that's staged. There was like a couple that was on this cooking channel. And it's like Down Home with the Dailies or something like that. And they're like the perfect down south couple. Every other word to his wife was sugar or mama or baby. And she'd be like, give me some sugar. Man. I'm like, come on, bro. This is literally like a Tyler Perry relationship. And y'all just cooking every fucking week. That shit is fucking ridiculous. But the Nelk Boys interview, I believe.
Speaking of conservatives,
Word. I believe they set a record. I believe they set a record of the most views in 24 hours. They got 5 million views in 24 hours before it was taken down.
Wow.
I didn't see the interview personally. I actually didn't know it was on the website. Chris seen it, so I will let Chris lead the conversation.
Yeah, so I think it was two interesting. So like YouTube took the video down, which I don't think is right personally. You can't you gotta, it's free media. You gotta give people a chance to view it for themselves and come to their own conclusions and opinions. You can't just take things down.
Did they get question before we start the contents of it? Was it taken down because of the content in it? Or was it taken down because, any video, anyone, you could put up a video cutting a piece of paper, maybe a 30-second video, but if enough people flag it, it'll be taken down. So did they say why it was taken down?
No, I don't know the context of it, why it was taken down.
Because there's definitely enough people that don't like Trump that just keep flagging it and it would probably get taken down.
But, it's
but I think YouTube's on top of that. They know, like, it gets to a point maybe if it gets enough flags that like there's some automated system that'll take it down.
Yeah,
But
and then it
it'll
gets
have to be
reviewed.
by a human, and then a human would be like, "Oh wait, this is just a video of someone cutting a piece of paper." Like, what the hell's
Yeah,
going on?
I honestly, I watched the whole thing and nothing in it made me think to myself, this has to be taken down. Nothing in it.
I mean,
Did he say the one thing we mentioned before is something about like the Ukraine Russia thing? Did he say anything about that?
Yeah, they asked him about Russia and Ukraine. He spoke
Yeah?
about it. Yeah, he gave his opinion on it. He gave his, he
Talk out of pocket at all? No.
He did the normal Trump thing. If
No.
I was president, this would have never happened. He goes, I can't say for certain, but I'm telling you, if I was president, this would never happen. He called Biden incompetent. And he went with that. He went with that play. He was calling him incompetent. He said if he was president, this would never happen. He said America looks weak. But then he was talking about something I didn't know. And I heard it before I like listening to Jocko talk about it a little bit, but Trump went into a little bit more detail about it, of just like how much military equipment. And I don't know if, he's one of those people where you don't know if everything he's saying is exact factual number. So we'd have to spot check that. But just how much equipment America left in Afghanistan. Like billions of dollars worth of military equipment was left in Afghanistan when we left. And he was also just talking about how we did it very poorly. Like, why would you pull the soldiers out before you pull out the equipment and the American citizens? Why would the soldiers go before the American citizens or the equipment? And then he said, especially when in the past 18th month, America didn't lose a single soldier in Afghanistan. So why would you react that way? So there were some things that made me think, like, if this is true, then why? If no one died in the last 18 months, say that's true, then why did you leave that way? Why not get everything out first? Why not get the people out at least?
They was moving like it was an extraction rather than just closing up shop.
He said, look like a surrender. He said America looked weak. And he said that he thought that because America looked so weak in that operation, it made other countries like Russia feel that look at America. We could do what we want right now. What are they gonna do? Because they can't even handle that. So like, what are they gonna do with us? They're not gonna stop us. They can't even handle this situation. They look weak. So he was saying things like that of why maybe Russia felt that they could do what they did, and he said if he was in power, that would have never happened.
Because Biden pulled out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Right, that's what
But he said he goes, it was the right thing to do. He said, it was the right call. But he
It's just
said,
how it was done.
he just didn't do it right. They did it incompetent. They looked incompetent.
Can I put my tinfoil hat on for a second?
Yeah.
The conspirator. What if they left the equipment because they're like, all right, we didn't conquer it, and we don't want anyone else to.
What do you mean?
They're like, I couldn't conquer this place.
Mhm.
We're all world leaders. We tried to we all tried to conquer Afghanistan in the past, or maybe we would like to, or just any random place.
Yeah.
So now I was unsuccessful. So out of spite, or not necessarily just spite, but just out of strategy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like, I couldn't do it. I don't want these two people to do it.
Yeah.
So therefore, the person I couldn't take it from,
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
this
leave him my shit. So that
this
way, when
is-
those other people try to come, now he has better resources,
This is
and they're
what
not
he
gonna be
said.
able to take it.
I don't know if it's true. But this is what he said. He said,
And what if you were preparing for some type of world war?
he said what they're doing is
Okay.
they're selling it. So like they have the equipment.
Yeah.
He said this is what he said. I don't know if it's true. They sold some of the equipment to other nations. So like maybe they sold one of America's best helicopters that we have.
Yeah.
America has the best air force in the world.
Yeah.
We sold
Absolutely.
our aircraft. They sold one of our helicopters to maybe China, who then reverse engineers it and figures out how to create it now
Yeah.
because they have a model to reverse engineer. So he said things like that were going on.
True.
selling our stuff
That
and
definitely
reverse-
does happen.
And
Yeah, you're right. Because the Taliban don't know how to.
he said that he was
operate,
saying
no.
they don't have not
They
even
don't know how
they
to
don't-
operate no freaking
And he-
F-22.
he's saying in the
Can you
amount
imagine?
of stuff we left over, they don't even have the manpower to even operate. It's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is to sell some of it
Yeah.
and make money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. That definitely does happen. They definitely sell it to.
So regardless of
foreign
what he's, and I think Donald Trump is what happens when someone who gains so much influence, regardless if you agree with the man or not. I don't think that's near here and there. But the guy got so much influence and is not under the control of a politician. He's not a politician. He doesn't move like a politician. He doesn't talk like you guys, doesn't act like you guys. You guys can't control him, but he has so much influence and power, and he's not under the control of the corporations. So you guys basically don't know what to do with the guy, and he has so much influence and control in America, where it's like, if Donald Trump wanted to start his own social media, 500,000 people pop up like that. Which is crazy. It's crazy.
More than that, probably, right?
They don't know what to do with the guy. I
That's
think they
facts.
really don't. They don't know what to do with him. And he was saying, he was like, man, he was saying like, I'm an anomaly almost. Like what I did was crazy because when was the last time you saw a businessman become president? He goes, I'm not a politician. He said the last how many years it was all politicians and generals.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I was a straight businessman and I did it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I wonder how many other businessmen will see that happen, who might be like, and now that opens up a whole new arena where now businessmen are competing to be president.
Come on, Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, we already saw it with Bloomberg.
Yeah.
He went for it.
Bloomberg, I call him.
He went
Bloomberg.
for it.
Yeah,
But what
he
if-
tried running for president?
Jay-Z doesn't have any federal things against him, right? His record's clean.
Might be past.
What if we get a businessman like that one day?
I don't know.
Okay, who do you think is that the businessman you would send in? Like
Like
if
for
you
our
had to
people?
choose one businessman,
No, because there's
that
people
exists today that would make a good president in your opinion.
No, because there's people like,
Elon Musk.
people
hell
don't like this answer.
So what?
no. Elon Musk. Hell no.
No, we'd be androids by the second year. in
I was thinking
office.
of black businessmen. And if I had to pick one person who I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't know. A question I was
Bezos
gonna ask was
would just make the world.
when
Alan, what's that guy's? Alan Pierce? Alan, the guy who owns like History Channel. He owns. It's like Alan. He bought the Weather Channel. I forgot that he was on the Breakfast Club. He sued a big company recently. Went all the way to Supreme Court.
TMZ.
No, he sued a huge media company. Went all the way to the Supreme Court.
TMZ's always getting sued, right?
Alan.
I'm not even sure.
Alan.
But when was the last time we had a president that people like? You saw like a person like Dave, Jocko, like those type
One
of
of
people.
those?
Yeah, like a person that people are like proud of as a person to be like you hear those men speak and you want to do something, right? But it's not like people hear Trump speak and they want to do something too. But I don't look at Trump as a man and be like, all right, this is like someone I would like. I would aspire for my child to be like.
No, of course.
You feel
not.
me? Like, when was the last? Well, it might not even be in our lifetime.
Probably Obama was the closest thing to it.
But even there's like even like speculations behind Obama and shit like that. Like I feel like those military guys that's like cut clean like this. Besides maybe them like doing like an operative or something that somebody might disagree with.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a lot of like speculation about how they are like character wise.
I feel like people would get behind like Jocko running for president. And he's also, what's good for Jocko too is that he's an English major, so he's very literate. Like he knows how to write. Like he'd be the type of guy to write his own speeches and be able to articulate himself really well. I think people would get behind someone like Jocko.
I could,
but
I like Jocko.
Yeah, Jocko's a really, really strategic guy.
And Goggins is his vice president.
No.
Nah, I don't think people get behind
That's too extreme, bro.
That'd be nuts. Everybody, they shut down
But I think-
Lay's
but I
and
think-
Nabisco and all these.
But I think
that bullshit.
I think America needs that right now. I think that would be a good leader for America.
Like a hard reset.
I think America needs someone who's gonna punch them in the mouth and wake up. Like wake up. Like I think we don't need no more coddlers as leaders. I don't think that's good for America right now.
Yeah.
We're getting into a world where it's like you got guys.
Didn't you
25-year-olds wake up.
Didn't you send
We've
that
had it
clip?
too good for too
And
long.
then the girl was like, she was like, "What makes America the best country in the world?" You sent that clip?
Maybe I don't know. What
It was a clip from a movie, and this girl asked. She says, "I thought it was you that sent it." She said, "What makes America the best country in the world?" And the guy got on mic. He was on like a panel, and he said, "Are you asking or are you telling me?" He said, "Because if you're asking me," he said, "what are you basing off of?" He said, "We're not number one in literacy." He said, we're the only. He said basically he went down to things, all things we're not number one in. He said the only things that we're number one in is military and obesity. And he said by those means, we're not number one in the world. Like, we're not the best country in the world. He's like, that's speculation. We don't offer the best food. We don't offer the best education. We don't have the best healthcare.
My only argument to that guy, and okay, yeah, regardless of all those other things, is where else in the world could you start out at, forget zero, negative, and then rise all the way up to be wherever you want to be in life? Now, I'm not aware of how every country is, so I would like, actually a rebuttal, but I don't know of another place in this world where you can go there for, like, instance, my girlfriend's family's from Ethiopia. Like, not Ethiopia, they're from Tigray. Like, father grew up carrying flour to the village. Like, feeding a village with flour from a factory he worked at. And now he lives in America with a nice house, nice children. All kids went to college, brought all his family over here, brought friends over here, worked for the UN, has investments in different countries, doing well. Where else is that possible? And that's my reasoning for why America is the best that I know of, because I don't know where that's possible. I really, I heard like in places like Europe where quote unquote it's free, but you're pretty much stuck in your class that you grew up in. Like you're just stuck there. Give me someone, name me a place.
Yeah, man, it's one of the things. It's like there's a certain like agreement or contract I feel like you're signing if you do want to live here. I guess you're like, yeah, you're taking a little bit of a roll of the dice. Like, yeah, maybe there are some people that live a little bit of an impoverished lifestyle, and you could too if you don't, get up. But the whole thing is like I guess you could say like the bootstraps mentality.
Yeah.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and like make some of yourself.
Oh, that's
you can't just glide by because then maybe your life won't be that great. But hey, if you want to go move to friggin' Denmark, you could just glide by. You could work at the bakery and ride a bike to work, and things are cool. Life's good if you want that. Or you could be here and you can own a couple acres, a farm, and have a big ass house. Whatever you define as success.
That's the point I was gonna make, was the fact that having someone like Jocko or someone of that stature in office, I feel like they would address those issues. You feel me? Because I think there's people that believe that America is number one, and that we're, you know, the best country ever. And they're like, but we could change some things. You know, there's some things
Yeah,
internally
of
we have
course.
problems, we have issues.
Yeah.
But there's some people that blindly is like, America. Like, they don't, like, you can't even read or write, sir.
Yeah.
Like, you, if you were to elevate yourself, you by just association and helping the people around you, you would make your country a better country.
Right.
But those people aren't doing that because they already feel like we're just the best country ever. You know?
Yeah, and I feel like there's
Like interior, we need some work.
and that's where we talk about a lot of paradoxes.
A lot.
Did we talk about, was it us talking about a lot of paradoxes?
When?
Man, I was
What was
talking about paradoxes with someone else. I was, but I'll say another paradox of living, like of a human experience, is the fact that you have to be content with life, but still strive for more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a paradox of human experience. So, like, yeah, I think America's the best country in the world. It does not mean it's perfect and it can't get better.
Yeah.
And you have to live in between, like the fine line between things are great here, but they can't be better. Because I think the moment you go down the line of things aren't great, then you never actually make them better.
Yeah.
And if you think things are just great and they don't need to get better, then it won't be great for long. You know, so it's like a fine line between living between those two spectrums.
And that's what makes it great, is because like it's like always the strive to be better or
Yeah.
greater. Like you ever just capped out and you plateau, what do you do now?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
recognize new problems, being like, oh no, this thing's not really like that. Like this thing's kind of like this is some type of injustice in this
Yeah.
society. Let's kind of try to expel that now that we've solved this other one, and now we can see that, oh, that's an injustice too.
Yeah.
You know, you just keep that compound.
Yeah.
And
And,
you just sit there and just be like, oh, we're the worst ever because of this one thing.
and to your
It's like,
point
nah,
too,
just
it's like
it out.
America will let you fail, but also let you succeed.
Yeah.
And I think some places won't let you really do either. Like there's a high floor, low ceiling. I think America has a high ceiling, low floor.
Yeah.
Like you can go low in America,
Mhm.
but you also can go to unbelievable highs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Definitely. And I think getting back to the main point of Trump, like he, even within himself in his presidency, he exposed a lot of things, good and bad, that we have going on in this country. Like it was just how easy and accessible things are, and people choose to not educate themselves. You know, people be outraged and ready to go about things that, you know, they might not have the most information on. Him being in office, we saw a lot. We saw the now effects of, you know, imploding dollars into your economy.
Yeah.
And
Just print
you
more
know
of it.
how that's taken part now.
Yeah.
This is just a bunch of things, and people kind of like you know, they kind of look at it as a negative thing. Like there's people like, oh, like I'm so happy he's out of office, and you know, this and that. But it's like people felt the same way about Bush. I remember that when we were younger. And I remember as soon as Obama got voted in, there was the whole thing about change and everything like that.
Okay.
And everyone was with it. And then like 2 weeks later, people were like bad mouthing Obama. Oh,
Yeah.
he's not doing nothing for his people.
'Cause you
He's
ever-
not. And same thing with Biden.
You ever seen
Everybody
that
was happy to
picture?
see, huh?
You ever seen that picture of like a leader? He says the president talking to a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Who wants change? We want change."
Oh yeah, and he's like, who's
Who
willing to
wants
change? And no one says anything.
Cricket.
Yeah.
He's like, "What do you?" I don't understand. That's something America needs to get back to. Like, if you don't, because another paradox of life, you have to be individualistic, but also think about the group at the same time. Like, you have to be individualistic in the sense of, I'm going to work hard and improve my life, and in improving my life, I'm going to make it a better world for everyone to live in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but too many people are looking for a better world to live in without improving their lives. And if you don't strive to improve your own life, then the things around you will never get better.
Yeah.
No matter who's the president. You know, we could have anyone a president. It doesn't matter. If you decide to make your life better, your life will get better. You know what I mean? Inflation, no inflation, all this stuff. If you want to make your life better, your life will get better.
Yeah.
But so many people are just sitting around, just twiddling their thumbs, waiting for things just to happen. Like they're supposed to just get a raise, even though they got the same exact skill sets they had last year.
Mm-hmm.
They want things to get cheaper, even though we're printing out more money every single year. They want, I don't know what, like they want all these things that it's like, no, you have to work. You know, you got to go put it in work. Go put work in. Doesn't matter who's the president. you know. But
Yeah. But with that being said, I think people were more focused on the fact that he was on the podcast versus in listening to the podcast and seeing, you know, what the platform had to bring. And like I'm gonna watch it now that I know it's still available somewhere.
Yeah, I recommend it.
But I think people need to do a better job at being able to disagree with someone and still hearing them out, regardless of whatever it
you know
is.
what's crazy? He said that on the podcast.
He did?
He said two things that I think were very interesting. Besides the actual like meat of it, these are just two side things. He said one, he said our media is corrupt. He said our media is corrupt because, and I'm paraphrasing, media is corrupt because if you don't agree with somebody, you don't block them out. If you don't agree with someone, then you guys argue your beliefs and pick a winner. That's freedom. Like everyone's express their opinion, express their beliefs. The winner's the winner. Cool. But when it's corrupt when you don't like what someone's saying, so you cancel them and you block them out and you get rid of their opinion altogether. It will not be heard.
No.
That's corrupt. And he said, watch. He said, I'm interested to see how you boys are gonna react. You guys are young, but I want to see how you guys react when YouTube takes this video down, when the world criticizes you and starts to judging you for doing this, and everything you work hard for is threatened to be taken away from you. I want to see if you guys still stand on your 10 toes and will like still fight for it and still say stand for this. And they're like, nah, YouTube's not gonna take this down. He goes, you'll see.
Yeah.
And what happens? YouTube takes it down.
And
now what are people doing?
Exactly.
Judging them.
That is exactly why you should have conversations with people that you disagree with. If you surround yourself with ideas and people that agree with those ideas, your world would only be what you make it. You have to have some realities in your world, and you have to have things that you disagree with to get you to see the other side. Because I've had disagreements. Wow. Block that out. I've had.
What you thinking about?
Is that a Freudian slip there?
Two penises. I've had disagreements with people and learned something from the disagreement after the fact because of whatever it is that they were speaking on. They might have shed some light on something that I didn't know. So, with that being said, like when people have a platform, I do think it's important that they be responsible with their platform, and I do think that, you know, as far as like Trump and, you know, things that happened in January and shit like that, that's why they had to, you know, reduce him from, you know, using social medias and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because of divisiveness and call to actions and stuff like that. But as far as you just completely disagree, oh my gosh, I cannot talk today.
Yeah.
Jeez, you're gonna have to edit this.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that you just disagree with someone, you should always be able to have that conversation, you know, have that person on your platform, maybe have that, you know, discourse in public so people can see why you feel the way you feel about whatever it is that you feel the way about.
And you have to let the people decide, because if you don't let the people decide, they're going to think that you're trying to hide something from them, and they're gonna go run to what you hide from them.
Yeah, and you're trying to treat me like a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, mom and dad won't let me see behind that door. What's behind that door? What are they hiding from me?
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm old enough. I'm mature enough. I can handle it. Let me see it. You know.
I think they're falling. I think they're falling right into his hands too. Like he's saying he's not legally allowed to say he's running for president again. But
really?
I think he was saying something with law. He goes, "But people will be very happy next time." Is what he said. People will be very happy next election come. But what you're doing is you're falling into his hands. Because if he says, "Don't worry, watch, YouTube's they don't treat me right. They're gonna take this video down when I speak," and then you take it down, now you're like, "Hey, he was right." Yeah. And especially I think what he's doing now is he's going for the young people, like a power move. He's going for the young because I don't know if you guys notice this, but I've seen it with younger males. Younger males are starting to lean more towards like that, more towards conservative.
I think
so. I think he sees that market. I think he sees that market, and he's going for it. Like, check. Like, because if he can get all the young voters, then he has a group already. Now he goes for the young. Those two work together. He could win because Biden really won because of black voters.
Yeah,
they voted more than they usually do, and kind of helped them push over in key states. what if Trump takes the young people away, then tackles that number by 10%? He could find his way into winning an election. So they got to be smart, bro.
Yeah.
I honestly think we should vote for an independent party. I think we should stop voting for Democrats and Republicans because the two-party system doesn't work. But
and honestly, if you really disagree with Trump and you really do think he's an idiot, if for, I don't know, 4 years after he's out of office, he's on social media still acting a fool, still saying divisive things, still, spewing stereotypes and stuff like that. By the time the next election comes, you're like, all right, this guy has no growth. He's the same person. I'm still not voting for him, whatever. But there's going to be a demographic of people that are going to hear Trump speak in a couple years that might have not seen him on social media, may have not, but like, this man clearly has grown. Like the stuff he's saying, the things he's doing, whatever, maybe I was wrong about him.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that whole running to, see what your parents are hiding from you, that's going to be appealing to them. But you were talking about
Wait,
the
can I say
younger.
one thing in Trump's
Yeah.
favor? Shout out to him for keeping his word for doing that interview. Yeah,
Facts. He
You
did.
know?
He did tell them.
that's pretty good. Because they're not.
He's-
They're a couple of young kids,
that's
and
the
I guess they
president.
got kind of a big following. But like for him to recognize and be like, "Oh, this could be
It-
potentially worth it," and I did give him my word.
It's funny too because
or it could just be very strategic, like you're saying, trying to get the young demographic.
in the interview they were like saying that I can't believe he sat down with us.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, like, and it's crazy. I don't know if he's podcasted before, but the way he was speaking was like he does podcasts. Like you could tell he's in entertainment.
huge.
You could tell he's in entertainment. He does talk like
Dude,
that.
he's got charisma. Like
Yeah.
you can't take the charisma away from the guy, whether you disagree with him
Yeah.
or not. Like he's able to kind of like I'm sure if you were sitting in a room with most people, he can kind of get along with them. He's
Yeah.
been doing his whole life,
Bro,
So,
making
but
business.
beef-
I want to say something. They were saying like, I can't believe you sat down with us, and he was saying yeah. He was like, but he goes, and I got one of the kids was like, I bet he said honestly, I bet the other side wouldn't even sit down with us. Like if we tried to get one of them to sit down, and then Trump was like, nah, they'd probably sit down with you, but it wouldn't be real. It'd be like super
Yeah.
scripted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's just hitting them. Like they got to change. They got to do something, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's a knock on Democrats always. Like they just seem fake. Like that people say, like black people. If you really in tune with the culture, like it's not that Democrats aren't racist. It's just that Democrats won't tell you that they're not gonna do anything for you. They'll lie to you. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna help you guys out, and then they don't do nothing. Republicans are straight be like, listen, not in the budget. It's not in the budget. Sorry, we're not gonna do nothing, but we still want your vote. Democrats be like, we got this policy coming for you. We promise.
Facts.
We're gonna have to wait till next year because
we need to secure the house.
We need to secure the house,
this,
and then next year, and then maybe 2024 for re-election.
Yeah.
You help us get elected again.
you help us get through
I would
midterms.
always rather the person be racist to my face than behind the back. my
Or
back.
prejudice.
Yeah, whatever. Disagree in my face because then you're showing your true self.
Mhm.
Not a two-faced person.
Yeah.
But Chris was talking about the younger crowd and the types of crowd that he's attracting, and my boy made a realization the other day about the media going on out here when we're on the phone,
Yeah, man.
and we're talking about it. This whole alpha male relationship,
It's time you guys.
gym bro
You guys got to switch the content.
era we ushering.
Bro, you
right
got to
now.
switch the content up, man. It's just, bro, think about everything that's going on. Everything that's going on in the world. And you're still talking about the same thing from 6 months ago. Like,
Yeah.
I think at this point, we learned what we needed to learn. I mean,
Yeah.
like, the lesson's over. Like, what
Yeah, I
can
didn't.
like, like, I feel like we learned what we need to learn. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the lesson's over. Can we
Facts.
get a new lesson? Like, I need
Yeah.
Can we get a new subject?
I'll tell you what I did learn. I learned about love languages. I learned
Which is
about
helpful.
masculine and feminine relationships.
Very helpful.
Very helpful. I learned about the dynamics and how to communicate with your partner.
Yep. helpful.
Things of the such. These are some things that have been brought to my attention. After watching these types of podcasts. But now we're just getting into everybody is just, and then Twitter's making fun of it now. And when I feel like when Twitter gets a hold of something, as a collective, they do a good job at making truth into satire.
Mm-hmm.
Because these people that are on this podcast, on these podcasts, and they're just like, first off, I've never met anyone that I respected and was like, I would follow that person, call themselves an alpha male. That's first off, right? Second off, the things that some of these men are saying, I tweeted this the other day. I'm like, I just want them to have their moms on as a guest on the podcast and just repeat the same things and just see if she agrees with you. I'm not saying that she's gonna like black on you or nothing like that, but some of the things that people are saying is just like, bro, there's no way you feel like that.
Man.
Like we talked about the we ain't gonna give them no promo, the FNF guys from Miami.
Yeah.
And when they came on Flagrant, and Alex was telling him, he was like, there's no way, and Akash, they're like, bro, there's no way that you just think every woman out in the world is just out to get you.
Or
everyone, like, what type of victim mind? He was like, he's like, if anything, like, yeah, he was like, what happened to you? Like, why are you scarred? He's like, oh, I'm not scarred. We just got to keep it. That's not keeping it real, because your representation of girls and your representation of women is what you have dealt with and what you've seen in your experience. That doesn't mean that that's true for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of women out here that aren't looking for a ball player, that aren't trying to get a rapper, that aren't trying to get flown out, that aren't trying to get their body done. You just don't see it because that's what's romanticized in media. Like, so whatever you feel, you're preaching to people, and then now you're trying to convert men where that's not even their situation.
Yep.
Into men that can, like, if you're not a man that's getting like slighted by women for athletes and doing, there's no reason why you should be trying to like learn from these dudes to try to go back like a local barista or like a librarian or some shit.
Bro, people like that whole space is getting so like
boring.
Like something else, please. Like it's so repetitive. The only person, and I know I rock with my man, is Kevin Samuels. The only reason I would say he's the only one who still got some interest into it, because he throws in other stuff. God bless. Like he throws in personalities, and he's an image consultant and like he throws in other stuff. Good God. But like, how many women can you bring on the show to interview and talk to about? How many is like, okay, can we get something else, bro? You know what I mean? It's like, bro, there's a whole, like, inflation is through the roof. It's like, and it's wondering too, it's like, is it because some of these guys who has 400K followers just can't hold a conversation about anything else? Is it that your knowledge only stretches so far, and you pop because it's like one of these gimmick rappers? You pop with one hit single topic, but you really can't converse about other things. Like your information, your knowledge doesn't stretch into really any other category where you can have an educated conversation, not only about relationships and maybe the power dynamics of a relationship. It's like I don't think some of them could even get into the simple concepts of a relationship, as in, okay, the personality types and how that plays into human relationships. I don't think some of them can even do that, bro.
I think
there's, if you want a girl, you got to go out there and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
can't even get into depth about it.
Yeah.
People heard topics and they started to create there's some like subtopics off of these topics, but their version is like opinionated. Like you hear Kevin Samuels talk about a specific type of man, a high value earning man, right? When he's talking about that, he's literally talking about those people, not a 25-year-old that you're making a good amount of money and you happen to have your own apartment and you drive like a nicer Maxima and you have like friends and a MacBook, and like, bro, you're living good for yourself, for your wages and your lifestyle. But he's talking about a specific type of person. And those specific types of people, he's even generalizing about them because he's never speaking specifically, right? So now people are taking these topics and they're trying to make specific things off of it, and it doesn't even make sense, bro. Like the things that you guys are saying, like, oh, I need a woman to be this, I need a woman to be that, I need a woman to be that, and you know, you ladies, y'all can't choose to be modern and then want to be old school at the same time. All the other stuff. It's like, bro, even as men, we're not robots no more. Men before, you know, we weren't supposed to be in tune with our feelings, all this stuff, bro. We're evolved. So for you to expect a woman to be like her grandmother, and you're nothing like your we were talking about this before we started recording, bro. By the time our grandfather was like 25, they were already like, on their first kid and built their first house with their own 2 hands, living on their land, had a job,
They was
making
working,
you
boy.
feel me, like
Yeah.
doing shit. So it's like, bro, if you're not in that same position, you're not in the position to tell ladies where they need to be. The issue is, what needs to get done is you need to figure out the type of person you are,
Yeah.
and stop trying to craft yourself into it.
Mhm.
That's the difference too. You can craft yourself. Like this Christian that's sitting next to me is not the same Christian I knew in 2013. He's smarter. He's more well read, right? He knows more things about himself. He's more in tune to himself. But he's not a shell of a person that he's trying to pretend to be. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like he just cut out some of the things that, all right, this might be immature, this might be bad. Probably shouldn't be doing that. Probably shouldn't be doing that. And this is him. But the core of him is still him. I don't feel like Christian was this type of person, and then now he's just like he just turned himself into some other thing. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just like, nah, you're still Chris. You just cut out some of the like things that you might have not enjoyed about yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can still be around this nigga. I still chill. I can still laugh with him. It's like people are trying to. It's like, oh, like on some Batman shit. Like my parents were killed. Now I have to save Gotham.
Yeah, you're
Like,
trying to-
no.
you're trying to
Like
cultivate
one
personality.
girl put you through this ringer, or one person made you feel like you weren't valuable. So now you feel like you have to be on some love don't cost a thing type shit and go back and win the girl. And like, it's like, bro, the world doesn't work like that.
And honestly, sometimes like with some of these guys, it's like, dude, like if you keep running into these type of girls that you're complaining about,
You're the
like
problem.
you're the problem.
You're the-
like, what's going on here? Like this, you know?
How many bad situations can you have until
Yeah.
you find a
Just,
common
every
denominator?
girl only wants me for my money.
Do you
All right,
leave?
dude,
Do you,
then change something up.
Maybe
Like,
your
keep
money's the
going
only
to
thing you have
same
to
spots.
offer, you
Yeah.
boring
Who
ass
you- who
nigga.
you
Maybe you're the one
talking to?
flaunting it, you know? You take her out on the expensive dinner, so you set the tone for the relationship. Of like, oh, he's
Mhm.
got money, he's gonna take care of me. Cool.
and that's a good point
Because
too.
you want to like impress her.
Like you were saying about Kevin Samuels, how he's talking to a certain, like the man is talking to men who are like 45. 35, the youngest age. He says it all the time. Like a 25-year-old college show, he's like, dude, you don't have women problems. You have you problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're not talking to you. Like, think, bro, how could you possibly be like,
That's funny.
let's say you have a 25-year-old, right?
Yeah.
They listen to all these macho man podcasts about alpha male and having, women and whatever they say. At 25, it's like, bro,
Be dominant when you enter.
what?
You know,
It's like,
walk with purpose.
what do you have at 25? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
You like you said, yes, nice that you have your own apartment and you could maybe buy yourself a laptop and you have a decent car and you could put gas in it, but it's like, okay. It's like, so what? You know what I mean? Who are you? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you haven't done anything yet. You haven't accomplished anything. Like, you don't even, you couldn't even lead a company, or you couldn't even lead a small team, let alone lead a family. So why would you expect anyone to get behind you and follow you? I think we have a society now where men just want the title and like they feel entitled to respect and power, and not power, it's just power in general. Respect, power, and leadership. It's like, no, you have to earn these things. You got to work hard for these things. You got to cultivate.
Mhm.
Like our grandpas and our fathers, who were great grandpas and great fathers and great men, they didn't start out that way. You like in the process, like you said, in the process of building a home, it's not just the fact that he built the home, is that what he learned as he was building the home.
Mm-hmm.
And those were key. Like you said, a lot of your family went to war and military. It's the person they became through having that military experience, which then gave them the rightful respect to then go lead a family, because they learned discipline, they learned how to think, how to be critical thinkers, how to be problem solvers. They earned that badge.
Sacrifice.
But you have so many people now where it's like, we're born, man, I deserve it. And this, that, and it's like, yo, bro, please cut off the red pill, whatever videos you're watching, turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn it off and go
Save yourself.
go on a hike, bro. Go walk in nature in silence. Go next time you drive in your car, don't plug the aux cable in. Just drive and get to know who you are. Do you know who you are? Like, do you know yourself? Do you really do? Because what if you are a feminine? You're truly a feminine male. What if that's who you truly are? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Go find yourself a masculine woman to pair up with. She'll bring the masculine energy. You'll bring the feminine. You're still a man. She's still a female. And go have a happy relationship.
Word.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty alpha, is definitely being confident in who you are.
Mhm.
You know, where it's like, obviously like the red pill version of the
Mhm.
internet or side of the internet would say that alpha is like very like masculine energy. But like
Yeah.
like I said, if you did run into like a little bit more feminine guy who just
No.
like to like, yeah, I'm just kind of like this way, bro. I don't really like sports, and maybe I'm just like
Mhm.
a lot of my friends are girls, but
Yeah.
he's just like, you're like, no, he's pretty alpha. He's like confident about it at
And-
least. Like he's not all like shy and timid or
Who
feels
here,
less than.
who here doesn't respect Jordan Peterson? Everyone respects Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
He
I like
is a
the
self-proclaimed.
guy.
He says, he tends to be more feminine. He's a more of a feminine male, and his
Yeah.
wife is more masculine.
Yeah.
He said, if you watch the interview, both of them I sent you guys,
Mhm.
she's clearly more like
Yeah.
disagreeable, masculine than him, and
He's
more
mad.
emotional.
He's mad, just calm and
And
informative.
He'll cry. He'll start to
Yeah.
cry when having conversations with people. He's in tune with himself. There's
Yeah.
nothing. This guy is one of the most
And he said that-
successful people to ever live.
He's a psychologist, so
It-
therefore he's like more like he said that it's like women tend to pursue careers that it's like they're more interested in people.
Yeah.
Men a little bit more interested in like things, like how
He was-
things work, building machines and shit
Yes,
like that.
yes,
But then there's
yes.
some girls that go and they
Mhm.
like building things. There's some dudes that like going and being psychologists like
Yeah.
him, and he's interested in people. More
Exactly.
feminine.
And
Exactly.
that's
very
fine.
point.
He's cool with it.
Alpha is a leader. I think that's what people are forgetting,
Yeah.
right? Alpha's a leader. Just
Yeah, true.
because
If you're going
you're the biggest, strongest, dumbest person around me doesn't mean I want your big, strong, dumbass leading me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Alpha is a person that has understanding, right? They have compassion. They have nobility, right? All these things are characteristics of that make you a person to be a leader, right? So if you're supposed to be a leader and you're being this whole macho, no, I don't fuck with that. You're never being yourself around me. So how can I trust you to lead me if I don't know who you are?
Yeah.
Niggas don't really know themselves. Like
No,
they really be on some shit where it's like and we talked about this before, like you get your personality from the internet. And now you think because you got your personality from, bro, I've been at like events, cookouts, barbecues, whatever, and you just hearing some people talk. And we talked about this before, like there's certain jargon that people will throw out there to make it seem like they know something about a topic. And you're like, this thing has no clue what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He has no clue what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I forgot where we were. We were somewhere before. And me and Chris had walked out and he was like, bro, I almost lost it there. He was like, oh, we were at when we were at Amari's party. I mean, Ash's party.
Okay.
And Shorty was talking.
Yeah.
And she was talking some bullshit. Chris was like, I don't even work with children. I know she has no clue what she's talking about. No clue.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, if you're getting your personality off of this whole, and it doesn't even feel genuine. I've met people that were stubborn and that are set in their ways, and that's like some generational shit. Like you meet their father, like, all right, you're just like your dad. Or whatever. But it's like people are trying to adapt this personality of, oh, I'm not taking no nonsense from no women. Like, bro, first off, no girl owes you anything. If a girl want to bring you bullshit, she's gonna bring you bullshit. It would be an alpha decision to decide that you don't want to deal with that anymore and be like, all right, I'm cutting this off. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth with you.
Exactly.
Alpha is not you conquering a female, which in your pea-headed brain, you're already stronger than them, right?
Mhm.
To be an alpha, you have to conquer things that you're not even sure if you're stronger than to prove that you're stronger than, right?
Yeah.
So if by your standards, you're still not an alpha.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be out there
yeah.
fucking
Or
go find the strongest men then.
Yeah.
Well, you're over here just bashing on women. How is that an alpha?
Yeah.
it's
And
hilarious. Yeah, you're right.
especially dealing with all the difficulties of the world. Like we got serious things that, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's serious problems in the community that needs to be accomplished. You too busy watching, red pill videos at the age of 23, and you're not even learning how to go solve the issues in your community and your life and your family that would actually make you the leader that you would, I guess, dream of being, because you want people to follow you. You know what I'm saying? Because if say you are the head of your household, that's your goal, to be the head of your household. Well, people have to willingly follow you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. What is your plan to beat your kids until they listen? How about you kids have to want to follow you. You have to be someone
That's a dictator.
Yep.
That's a dictator.
How are you a leader if you can't produce other leaders? Because if I'm first in charge and I'm leading people
Mhm.
and I'm telling the person that's second in charge because I said so, and
Oh,
they're telling the
yeah.
people under them because he said so, and they're because they said so,
Can't even explain it.
you're literally not creating anything. So if I was to step away, no one would be able to do anything because I didn't say anything.
Yep.
Because everyone's reasoning is always because I said so.
Yep.
The reason would be like, yo, bro, we have to do this because if we don't, when we wrap these cords for the next time, then they'll be messed up. So we have to wrap them loose. We have to put them in the bag this way,
Yeah.
right? If you don't do shit like that, people don't know. So they can't grow underneath you. So now people are only limited to the information that you're giving them.
And what people don't realize too, bro, is like that we subconsciously follow competence. So if you're in a room of people, you're going to naturally, the leader will make himself present because we'll see in time that he's the most competent one and we should follow him. Same thing like, let's say, George Washington. Who should be the first president? I mean, this guy did just help us win the war.
And his teeth is wooden. What's going on with him?
You know what I'm saying? We were all in the wild right now. Wild. And Chase, you have wilderness skills, right?
What?
You have skills in like outdoor skills, like wilderness and stuff?
I mean, a little bit,
So,
not much. I feel
Santi, you have zero?
Hmm?
You have zero, right?
I'm an alpha, bro. I have all of it.
Okay, I have zero.
I have 0.
We would get into the wild. Jace has a little. Jace would say, guys, I don't know much, but I know this, and this, and this, and this. Me and Santi would be like, okay, Jace, tell us what to do. It would just naturally happen. Why? Because competence. You have to develop competence and people will follow you. So all these people want to be alphas and leaders, but they don't even have their life together. You don't have anything in your life together. Who's going to follow you? You haven't even proven you're competent to run one life. Meanwhile, to take control of the outcome of a group of 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control one. You can't bring a beneficial result for one. So why would we rely on you to do it for 5?
Exactly.
Then do it for 10. Then while you're a grandparent, now you got to do it for 25 because it multiplies fast.
Yeah.
I saw a comment. They said they got to start running background checks and stop selling audio equipment to just anyone. Bro, that shit is hilarious. It's just people spewing garbage into the masses, bro. I watched this man say,
Powerful tool,
and
man.
I got from him and from Kevin Samuels, I learned that sometimes things are just literally taken out of context, and with the right spin on it, someone can use their words against them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I watched this video. It was like a 15-second clip. This guy said in the clip, he said, "Oh, I had a conversation with this woman, and she said, I have everything. All I'm missing is a man. I got a good job. I got my own place. All I need is a man." And he's like, "Oh," I started laughing because he's like, "I'm telling her that the men that you want probably now don't want you because you're solidified and all this other stuff." And da-da-da. And people were ripping him for saying like, "Oh, he's weak-minded and all this other shit." So I'm like, all right, found the full clip, watched a full like 5-minute clip. In the 5-minute clip, he expands on what he says, but it still is bad. It's still bad. He after he said that, he said, "I'm saying that to say this. I tell women that if they want a certain type of man or if they're looking for a man, then them spending time building up themselves is going to make other men that when they approach you, if they're not solidified within themselves, now they're going to be too intimidated to approach you or whatever the case may be." And I'm like, he's saying something, but he's not. And the reason why he's saying something, he's saying something, but he's saying it to the wrong group of people. He should be telling men, right, that women are not, and he said, he was like, "Oh, a man wants to feel like he's going to prepare a certain life for you, but if you don't wait for that man and you prepare for yourself, then he feels like he has nothing to offer you," right? Mm-hmm. Your issue should be with men. Be like, "Yo, bro, there's women out here, they want certain lives. They're not willing to wait on us. So if we don't elevate ourselves, they're going to be solidified and we're not." Simple. Mm-hmm. The problem there is with the male. You're telling a female she shouldn't progress and she shouldn't do things that she wants to do because she's supposed to wait for a guy that she doesn't even know exists yet. Yeah, how does that make any sense? Yeah. Oh, she devalued herself because she put in work and she did this and she's getting older and she's doing this. So the type of man that may be in the same position as you, he's going to be intimidated by you. So you're not going to have to date men like that. You're going to have to date men that don't got their shit together. Yeah. But it's like,
see, that's so crazy to say because, bro, women are naturally hypergamous, I believe is the proper term. So they want to date up. Women usually go up in socioeconomic classes. Yeah. So why would you, if you know that, like say he's a knowledgeable person who knows then why would you even say that comment?
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Why would women tend not to date down? Yeah. So why would your advice be to date down? They're not going to. No. What we should be encouraging is that stick to your level. you know what I'm saying? Like if you're an average, like I think right now there's average men who won't be happy, like what J. Cole said, love yours, who won't be happy with the average woman because they see like an Instagram model, or they see like these Instagram models on you know, these social media sites who look absolutely like a whole bunch of Rihannas. And it's like, bro, you live in Elmwood Park. You live in Elmwood Park.
East Patterson.
You know, you're nowhere near Hollywood. You're nowhere near these places. You're not on the scene. Bro, just find yourself a nice wife, have a nice family, and go live a nice life. Same thing for women. You're not gonna get Drake. You're not gonna get Debo, who's doing 100 pull-ups on Instagram and flipping around on the pull-up bar and catching himself and throwing. Listen, yeah, you know what I mean. You're just the average person. You're gonna get an average guy.
Do you think anybody though looks at themselves as average?
No, and that's the issue. No one sees themselves as average. You could.
But isn't it a good thing in a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, would you really want a lot of people like walk around just be like, oh, I'm just average, you know? I don't know. I'm just kind of.
But it's
tough.
Yeah, it's kind of
paradox.
Like, yeah,
another
it's
paradox.
like you kind of want people to achieve. You don't want anyone to just be like, I'm okay with.
Like
staying.
I have a perfect example of that. So I said to this girl once, right? This girl called me a nice guy, and I said that's a compliment, but I said it's a compliment, but it's also not. And J. Cole said something before. It was either J. Cole or Jay-Z. They said calling him the best. It was Jay-Z. He said calling him the best rapper is like calling me the tallest midget, right? He said basically saying like rappers are trash. So being the best of these niggas is not. So when a girl, she was like, oh, you're a really nice guy or whatever. And I was like, that's not really common. She was like, how? I just called you nice. I was like, because the bar is set so low for males. Like it's set so low, like just for expectation wise, right?
Yeah.
Just you have to, a girl's expecting you to be honest with her, to not cheat on her, to not put your hands on her, and don't disrespect her. And if you do all those things, then you're a good guy, right? No, I'm just saying like base level things,
I see,
right?
I see.
The basis, like, oh, like he didn't cheat on me, he didn't disrespect me, he didn't call me out my name, he didn't put his hands on me. He's a good guy.
Okay, yeah.
But those things aren't the thing that equates you to being a good guy. I feel like that's bare minimum that you're asking for. Yeah. Those things shouldn't be like, oh my God, he didn't beat my ass, or he didn't, like, I raised my voice at him and he stayed calm.
It's like, oh yeah, he respected your human rights. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a bare minimum thing. It's like, bro, it's like, because it's just such a good portion of people that just do dickhead shit all the time. It's just like, I'm just not a dickhead, honestly. I wouldn't even say I'm a good guy. I would just say I'm not a dickhead.
I don't think that is a big portion. I think that just the portion that does is just loud. Like the portion of people who do wrong are just loud. Like they're because like there's so many good people who just really probably aren't on social media. They're in their house somewhere.
Yeah.
They're
It's a
just
very
chilling.
vocal minority of people that are talking, because people that are on the other side are just like, I'm not gonna waste my time. Like I'm fine. I'm content because I'm happy.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel a need to get on social media and like talk all this shit. Or,
bro,
you know,
like to me, I would be like, oh, like if I was like going out of my way to like buy you some shit and like drop it off at work before you get there at your desk and like sneak out and, you know, send you flowers, and those are things that I would do. But I'm not currently doing those things for you. So you equating me to a nice guy is just you telling me I'm literally not a piece of shit.
I mean, that's a whole lot, by the way, too, that you just put out there.
What?
He just said a whole lot.
That's some sim shit.
No, not sim. No.
Yeah.
No, I think that's, to each his own. I wouldn't call it sim. I just said it's a lot. It's funny. I'm the type of person you probably won't catch me doing all that.
No. Yeah. That is a lot. You just
won't catch me.
No, I haven't. I've sent a girl flowers, but
yeah,
the other shit I'm saying
pulling up to work.
Those are things that would be like, all right, like above average, like he's really nice because he's going above average to do all these nice things. Not calling me nice because I'm not doing things that I should already not be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but to women's
snowing again. Oh my gosh,
it's light though. But to women's defense, I think men on average are like more disagreeable and like less compassionate and less quote unquote nice than women are. So I think when a girl sees a guy who's maybe as nice on average as women are, they might tend to call because you get a group of guys together and then a group of women together, in the conversation, group of men are gonna be like picking on each other. We're gonna be making fun of each other. We're gonna be like, but women are gonna be like, they're not gonna be doing that as much as men were. So I think to get a nice guy, women, I think it's more obvious because a lot of men on average, not that we do nice things, but like you get more disagreeableness and more like tension on average from men than you will from a woman.
Yeah.
For a fact. I don't know. I just feel like that shit is. It's just not hard to not be a dickhead. That's my whole basis.
If you're under 22, I don't know about that.
Not making mistakes is one thing, but you know right from wrong. Like,
nah,
it's like you can't be like, oh, I beat the shit out of this girl. I made a simple mistake.
I thought you meant like saying jerk comments.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's just getting into personality.
I'm telling you,
feel
bro.
me?
She used to
I'm just
want me
saying,
to.
not doing just those whatever the 3 or 4 reasons I said.
Yeah, okay.
Like those basis
those
things.
extreme things. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And this is mean. And then the reason why I said that, Jason, it's funny that you said some shit, because it wasn't even like I. The reason why I said that is because she hadn't seen me do anything nice yet.
Gotcha.
I just didn't do those things,
Yeah.
so she assumed I was a nice guy.
How do you think?
And I'm like, you have no idea. Like, you really have no idea.
So how do you think guys in the same direction set the bar low for women?
Nah. I feel like it's
You think the bar is set lower for men than it is for women?
yeah.
But I think most.
Because
God depends.
To me,
I got a take on it.
Yeah.
What if by nice is the word that is used, but maybe more so what they're trying to say is like trustworthy. You know?
Mhm.
Like, you're a good guy. Like, I could trust you. Like, I don't think you're going to be like playing me, doing me dirty, or anything like that. So then they just but they just say the word nice. What they're just like, yeah, no, just like, I trust your character. Like,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I just don't think you're
I
a
can see that.
shitty dude. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I can just feel it. Like, I can just feel your vibe.
Yeah.
For all I know, maybe you are a psychopath, you
Mhm.
know, but from what I can see, no, I trust you. I'm willing to let you in my house or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. No, I can see that.
but I think sometimes we just, we use the wrong word
Yeah.
or like we just use like a simple word,
Mhm.
you know, simplified version.
Because I would say, for most guys, as long as like a guy, his bar, well, I can't speak for all men, but I would say for most guys, I'd be like, oh yeah, like she's a nice girl. Like, it would be like a girl that's like not, how do I put this? All right, boom. She's very sociable, right? She's down to earth. She's trustworthy, meaning like I don't have to worry about her like around other guys. And then she's not a girl that like super puts herself out there. Like, there might be a girl that she might be a little risque online, but a guy might be reserved from her to be like, I don't know if she's a good girl or not. Because in their head, that's their image of a good girl. I feel like for women, it's more about imagery than action for them saying a girl is a good girl or not, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it would just be about like simple actions.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
until
No, I get you.
into
Yeah.
who said it
Yeah, I
earlier
agree.
that guys are more interested in things and women are more interested in people.
Mhm.
So I could I forgot I was watching a podcast and they were saying that they're just like doing a questionnaire and they're like, do you think a guy would be more mad if you, let's say your boyfriend, that you were talking to another guy, you were talking to him and you started developing feelings for him, but you guys never had sex, or if you had sex with a guy but just never like talked to him, never had feelings for him? And then they asked the same question.
The
for
latter.
yeah, a guy would be more upset if you had sex with someone else
Yeah.
rather than if you were like became emotionally connected to the guy. You wouldn't really care.
Mhm.
But I think the girl side was like the girl would be more upset if you had that emotional connection with
Yeah.
another woman rather than if you just slept with them once and never talked to them again.
Word. Because, like, I feel like most guys, when they meet girls, they just kind of give them I can't even say most. The guys that I know, I feel like when they meet girls, they give them a clean slate. And then they just let them be whoever they are, and then they start noticing things about them. Most girls that I know, when they meet guys, they're kind of have, like, an expectation to be let down off rip.
But
Like, you feel me?
you know what's even crazy about that? So remember that personality test I was telling you about?
Mm-hmm.
Women tend to be more what is called neurotic, and neurotic is the sensitivity to negative emotions. So on average, women are more sensitive to negative emotions than the average men tends to be. So like that could be the like why on average when you talk to women they expect bad things and are more guarded
Yeah.
against the bad things is because their reaction to those negative feelings are more stronger than how someone else who isn't as neurotic will react to negative things.
I believe that because I feel like I've encountered more women that was like, even without knowing you, will ask you a question that's like a stereotypical question, like, "Oh, you don't got no hoes or nothing like that, right?" Like, but they'll ask you, and they're kind of joking, but they're kind of serious.
Mhm.
But I've never met a girl be like, "Oh, you don't got no OnlyFans, you don't be sucking dick for money or nothing like that, right?" Like, it's like that's a stereotypical thing for women.
For you would never ask.
But I would never ask you that because I don't think that applies to you, right?
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't ask you if you have a sugar daddy or anything like that, just because I don't think that of you because I don't know you yet. But a woman without even knowing you should be like, "Oh, he's cute, he got hoes." Like it's an assumption, and they need you to break the stereotype that they have in their head. That's what I meant to say, rather than like they have a decline of within media men. They have stereotypes, and your job is to break these stereotypes in their head. Versus most of the guys I know will meet a woman and just wait for them to be who they are and then judge them off of that. You feel me? Because like I the same way girls be like, "Oh, dudes be out here doing shit." I've met girls that be out here doing shit, but every girl I meet, I don't expect the girl to act that way because I know everybody's different. Most girls that I meet be on some like, "Oh, oh, so you're not talking to nobody," or it's like, no, I'm not. Like, or it's like, or they just can't believe it. I don't know. It's two different plates, I guess. It is what it is. But you ready to wrap?
Yeah, we could wrap it up.
Yeah. So this has been another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, whether you stopped listening after 15 seconds, whether you made it to this point. We appreciate you for giving us a chance. Follow everybody on their social medias at cb.lopez, at jsquare, and at extra sauce prod, aka productions.
Get Plank a plug-in.
Follow Plank at Plank. Follow Lay. Actually, I don't think Lay's on social media right now. But come to the page, and whenever her page is active, you can find Lay's information. Follow the page at the Demigod Chronicles _ on Instagram and at the DGC _ on Twitter. Follow us on or subscribe to us on YouTube at MSTRD _ studio spelled with a V. Actually, no underscore, a space. And you can find me at _ demigod _ and at MSTRD _ studio spelled with a V. It's been another episode. Appreciate Jace for coming through. We got some big things coming your way from Master Studios. We got some content coming with this young man right here. We got some interviews coming with him. We got extra sauce with Jason, myself, and we got Lay brewing up some stuff. So you're gonna see more individual stuff from all of us, and you're gonna see more stuff, more vlogs and all that coming your way. Weather, I would say it's starting to get nicer, but it's snowing right now as we're speaking. So, but just bi-monthly, the weather is going to start to break, so you will start seeing us do more stuff. We want to do, some public interviews, like some fun stuff. So, definitely be on the lookout for events, things like that. And yeah, appreciate you for holding it down on the mic today, Jace.
I'm trying to go from city to city
It's
and
good.
drop buckets on people.
You trying to what?
Drop buckets, like
Um,
physical buckets.
Oh, basketball.
basketball.
Yeah.
Buckets.
Oh, okay.
What else would I be? What else would I
You
be?
just
doing?
want to pull up? And
I don't know.
What? Just 1v1 people?
Santi know what I do on the court, man.
Sadly,
think
I do.
I'm sure we could. We could.
Set something up, right?
Yeah, we could set up a little itinerary.
They know what I
Hit
do.
a couple different cities, man.
Yeah, I know what I
Set a
do.
little shine. Once again, like I said, preface conversations. We, take all forms and accusations of rape seriously. We hope everybody is okay overseas. We're praying for the things that people are going through, and love one another, people. Love one another. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family.
Sí.
Chris, the people with some Spanish.
Gracias por escuchando. Yo espero que tú escucharás próximo tiempo y tendrá un buen semana. Gracias.
Yeah, and good luck on your test, Lay. Bow. We gotta hear.
It's Bubba Uno, so you know it's lit.
Get that bag, get through.
Broadcast my face, keep my good on the hush. My struggles is a part of me. Late night in houses doing dumb shit and robberies. Be lying if I said being broke, this shit ain't bother me. Tryna touch your M if you ain't helping, why you calling me? Came a long way from projects and having fist fights. You don't bought my music, fuck you, cause your bitch might. Asking another nigga for money just don't feel right. Never ask for help, rather do this shit myself. They say time heals all wounds, somebody say they lying. They say time heals all wounds, my nigga steady dying. They say time heals all wounds, my mama steady crying. They say time heals all wounds, they gave my daddy time. I got a lot of shit I gotta focus on. Niggas biting cheese, we call them rats, they in provolone. Ain't in the army, been away, mama, your soldier home. It's been a long 7 months so days since I've been gone. I got a lot of shit
Sometimes you gotta rap about your life, man. Shit was going on. Eviction notice after eviction notice. No place to stay. You feel me? Shit real, man. Shit real, like. They just what I've been going through, you feel me? Yeah.